Mokele-Mbembe. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art, this is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflame. Check it, OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art, this is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflame. Check it, OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art, this is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflame. Check it, OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG off the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect, bringing the heat. What you expect? He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house.
In the dark troubling night, when the moon's hanging low, there's a place where the wildest of tales start to grow. Below the skeleton, with his bony grin, and Vault his co-host, let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene. We dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's Tales from the Crypto live stream with me and the homie MoKnowz. You can't see Mo yet. All you see is his name, but I'm sure he will arrive soon. You there, Mo?
I'm here, actually. I forgot. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh shit, I never activated my camera.
It's all good. What's up, Mo? What's up, everybody in the chat? Thanks for hanging
Hello,
out with
brother.
us. If y'all got here earlier, listen to the Starting Soon track. The track is from Dr. Strange. Shout out to Dr. Strange. He makes tracks for anybody who's looking for something like that, whether it be intros, outros, background music, all that cool stuff.
yeah.
We got a couple other tracks that we're going to try to make into intros and outros that Dr. Strange did for Tales from the Crypto in particular. So excited about that. Shout out to Abdullah, first in the chat today. Let's go. We got Woody. He said he's going to be back. He stopped by to say hi. Appreciate you, bro. We got Denny OC, the Tales from the Crypto #1 fan, leader of the fan club that we have with just him in it. What's up, D-Best? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Any number one.
Let's go. I still don't see you, Mo.
Wait, really?
Right.
Uh-oh.
I hear you, though. Your mic's working this time. Last week we had a lot of mic
Son of
problems.
a... Yeah, there you go.
There he is. What's up, Mo? How we doing this week?
There we go. What is up, Mr. Vault? What is up, chat? Good to see everybody, even though I'm pretty sure I'm dying. Did we talk about this?
No. Oh, yeah, you were sick.
Bro, I have not felt right since the Derby. Somebody gave me that long COVID shit. I'm convinced of it. Which then, like, sat into a pocket in my... I feel like I have an infection in my jaw. It actually got so bad, but I got some Z-Pak, which is like a 5-day antibiotic treatment. I think it's working. I'm not dead yet, but yeah, man, it's been weird. I felt like myself.
You said this is all the way from Derby that long ago?
Yep. Yeah, I felt like shit for like a month.
Oof.
And everyone was like, "Oh, I just got the symptoms of the long COVID with just, just the fatigue, yada yada yada,"
Yikes.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, I feel good. At that time, I felt good, just a little run down.
Right.
As time goes on, bro, like,
Hopefully you ain't got the
like,
monkeypox.
I don't know.
If you
But
start
man.
breaking out in hives, we know what's going on over there. My kid's also sick too, so I don't know. It might be just there's a sick emoji flying around. It might just be that time of the year where people get sick. But you said you had it since Derby, so you got something over there. You got some kind of bug.
Hey, bro.
Let's go.
And like I said, that shit like sat in my jaw, and like my jaw started like just get swollen, and like the inside of my mouth was like all swollen and shit. It was fucking crazy.
Ooh. Sound like a tooth infection. Shout out to Bruin88's in the chat. What's up, Bruin88? We got the Incorrigible Ghost Slayer. Let's go. What's the latest remaining Grail-ish piece comic you have on VeVe? I mean, I still got a surprise OMG LOL doll, but that's like my Grail because there's only 215 available to the public, and that's all I have at this point. I don't have nothing good anymore. I don't know, Mo. Mo, do you still have stuff? I know I ask you this all the time,
I do, yeah. I don't sell, even though I should have. I'm the guy that held the animated band leader Mickey that was like
oh yeah.
700 or whatever. I'm like, oh, gonna hang on to this. It's Mickey. Everyone's always gonna want Mickey. And it's just like $20 now.
Mo's got them diamond hands, y'all.
Yeah, for real. And then the VeVe, the only lucky drop I ever got, I guess, was the red SR logo.
Ooh, that's funny. I got that drop too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's like the only good one I've ever gotten, quote unquote. Again, that was doing well for a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm gonna hang on to this when the VeVe-verse opens. We're gonna need this. How's that VeVe-verse doing? Anybody know?
ETA 2030. That's my ETA on it. It's a long ways off. We were supposed to have it a long time ago. As most of the people in the chat know, we still don't have access to the VeVe-verse. Some people do, though. Some people. They must have turned the blacklist off for that drop. Me and you both got the secret rare. They made a mistake there. DNC was not
And that was
happy.
like one of the first, the waitlist. That was one of the first waitlist drops,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I was like, oh man, I really love this waitlist system. But then I'm sitting around going, well, shit. Like, what else am I going to use the waitlist for? You know what I mean? Like Captain America #1 when that comes out. You know, I obviously don't need it for that. But you know, outside of that, like I still wonder what else could be released that would draw the hype. We'll talk about it later on in the show, but we talk about slices and verticals and stuff like that. You know, but I do hold most of my stuff that I held.
Good stuff, yeah. I mean, yeah, we definitely could talk about that when we get to the crypto section, but I feel like people who are saying that there's no other good drops that they could possibly do or just don't have a good imagination. They've already started dropping characters from movies. What if they drop like Scarface FA? And there's so many characters like that that I think would be huge drops. Drop that Tony Montana. What's up, Bruin88? Let's go.
Well, yeah, but that's the vertical, right? Like that's the slice and the vertical that we need to tap into. They need to tap into, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm just saying from like a Marvel, you know, comic book, like that demographic. I'm just saying, like, what else is left from that, right? Like that was always my question.
Yeah, they dropped all the girls, so they kind of dropped them fast, whereas DC over there on Palm and now Candy still has some girls they haven't dropped yet, like 2 of the 3 biggest ones. They're kind of saving it, seems like. I don't know when they're going to drop Detective Comics 27 or Action Comics #1. I think they did it smarter than VeVe did, even though they have less of a user base. We're going to talk about DC, too, and how their comic drops have been doing recently. Shout out to Bruin88, thinks you have COVID. Daniel C says, best wishes,
Probably.
Mo. Hope you feel better soon. Let's go. Let me catch up with the chat. We got Alejandro here. What's up, Alejandro? Let's go. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got Fun Under the Sun. Appreciate you being here, Fun. All right, we're going to start off with our paranormal topic. This one was suggested to me by Super Duper Hank. It was something that I don't know anything or knew nothing about until
Me neither. A cool topic.
Yes, until I did a little bit of research on it. So let me get it pulled up here, and we'll get started. What we're going to be talking about is Mokele-Mbembe.
It's one of my ancestors, actually.
Well, yeah, because his name Mo. I got you. So Mo's favorite paranormal animal, Mokele-Mbembe, is a dinosaur-like creature that is apparently in Central Africa, like in Congo. Back in the 1900s, there were a bunch of reports of dinosaur-like animals in Africa, and it caused a major sensation, or more of a minor sensation in mass media. People got real interested in it. They had a bunch of, what do they call it? Expeditions to go and try to find these animals. There was a couple books, one by a scientist named Brian Dunning, and another one by an adventurer, Lieutenant Paul Gratz. Imagine your job title is adventurer. And they were about this Mokele-Mbembe in Central Africa, and it was in the early 1900s. So I had all these people doing expeditions to try to find out what this thing was, but mostly all they got were local legends and eyewitnesses, but no hard proof. But then, of course, more recently, when people started getting phones and all that good stuff, they started taking video, and we got a few videos to check out of Mokele-Mbembe, which is supposedly a sauropod water-dwelling dinosaur. So it's kind of like the, I want to say Paleosaurus, the one with the fins, right? All right, let's look into some of the videos, and y'all let me know what you think. Shout out to VeVe Vet in the chat. What's up, VeVe Vet? I don't know if I like that Moga stuff. All right, so it started off, and you guys have probably seen these before, whenever they started taking pictures of the Earth from up in the sky, and they started using GPS. This one's real famous. A couple of those GPS photos saw big dinosaur-like looking creatures from above. All right, so
yeah, this is an Ark. This is what they got the. It's actually one of my favorite tames in Ark that I used to use in the water. Was this guy here?
Was that a video game or something?
Ark, yeah, Ark is like that dinosaur survival game where you
I've
build
heard of that.
and tame. That game's so much fun.
All right, this one is the kind of the first video that went viral. Back in the day, they didn't call it viral. It's 1992, so I don't know. They didn't even have YouTube back then. But this was an expedition by these Japanese explorers who were looking for Mokele-Mbembe, and I think it was in Cameroon. So they're taking video of this lake, and they see this thing in the lake. And y'all let me know what you think it is. Kind of looks like a long snake, but they're saying that it could possibly be this dinosaur, this Paleosaurus. I don't know.
Oh, it's like my toilet after a night of Mexican.
And then this one's really good too. Alright, so I did a replay of it on here at a little bit slower speed. The question is this CGI or is this legit? Because you see something that don't look like it should be there for sure.
Oh, that's not CGI. No, the water reaction, the bubbles, that's not CGI.
Oh, interesting. And this one is really, really clear, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. This is one I found. I was like, what the heck it came from? It came from a YouTube channel called Paranormal Cryptids.
Now this looks like CGI.
Apparently this trail cam setup that they had set up, right, so they see this giant creature. What's really cool here at the end though, watch as its tail hits the tree. That's why I'm like, whoa, how'd they do that? Its tail's about to hit the tree. Right, so that was on this this YouTube channel that's about cryptids and paranormal activity. However, it only had a couple hundred views, and I was like, how could this be so good and only have a couple hundred views? So I started doing some research on it, and I found the original video where it came from, and on that same page was this video, which kind of looks similar, and this is apparently a velociraptor.
A velociraptor. There's all sorts of hidden species around here.
Right, so that of course had me wondering like, what the heck is going on here? This guy, he's just a CGI artist. So I was looking in the comments and I saw where somebody had commented on this video, actually on the one with the Paleosaurus in it. The CGI
That's
and
actually
editing
really
is
good.
great. One may think that this is a real sauropod, and the person who created the video replied, "Thank you so much." So I mean, I guess it kind of has, I guess that proves that it was CGI, that last video. But like Mo said, the one before that, and we'll pull it back up here.
That's very hard to trick. Like to really fake that sort of interaction with the animals and the wood, that you would normally see some sort of artificial, because again, I fuck with a lot of this in After Effects. This is not, yeah, that, I mean, you could say maybe the quality helps it, but I don't think so, man.
I wonder what it could be. I'm trying to catch it with the fin up. Like, what kind of stuff would is that? Looks like a river, a dirty river too. Like, what kind of animal could that possibly be to be that big and to have that type of fin? I don't know. What do you think, Mo, about this Mokele-Mbembe?
I mean, like I said, anything with Mo in it, I'm a huge fan. I believe its old name was Mokele. But yeah, no, I think, I mean, again, I did a little bit of research on it too. I never even heard of it until I started realizing that it's probably what they took the inspiration for on Ark. Again, one of my favorite tames in the game. So, you know, I think it's cool though, man. I love watching shit like that. I just don't really think it's real, right? Think about it. If because a lot of animals that we still have left evolved from dinosaurs, right? We know that. But they lose a lot of the characteristics and stuff like that. Don't you think, man, like if this really was legit, especially in 2024 or the past 15 years, we'd have some concrete evidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's becoming harder to really, like, have these, like, mythical stories and lore get passed down from generation to generation, because now people are like, yo, where's the receipts, you know? Whereas back in the day, people just believe that shit, and then they walk, 6 weeks to the next town over, or whatever, and they got to, like, explain the story again. It gets changed a little bit, and it makes it a little more exciting, and next thing you know, you got the Bible. Like stories travel,
Yeah.
mythological creatures and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. I definitely don't think it's real, but I think it's cool as shit.
Yeah, I agree with you. They probably would have found some type of skeletal remains at this point. Even if they were buried, they'd be able to find out when they were from. And if they were only like 100 years old as opposed to thousands of years old, they would probably be able to tell the difference, archaeologists anyway. And an important part of the story, I don't know if it's how important it is, but part of the story that I left out was in 2020, there were these, I can't remember exactly what type of scientists they were, but they went to this tribe where the Mokele-Mbembe legend exists, and they showed them a book of animals, and when they got to the rhinoceros, they pointed at it and they said Mokele-Mbembe. And rhinoceroses, is that what it was? Yeah, rhinoceroses are, yeah, it was a rhino. Rhinoceroses are not usually in that area, but they were a long time ago. So what they think is that it was a legend from a long time ago when rhinos were in that area that was passed down over the years.
Kind of like water rhino or something? Like
they said it was the black rhino, possibly. Oh yeah, I hear you, because it's in the water all the time. That's a good point.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if maybe that species, whatever, got pushed back off the land into the water and then evolved, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like, dude, just imagine with the technology we have now, especially like when it comes to deep sea exploration. Right. Once we can get past the whole, like what happened with that Titanic submarine where like it imploded on itself.
Yeah.
When you start getting away from that type of pressure and get really, really safe, things for people to go down there, we're about to uncover some crazy shit down there.
Oh, I
You know what I
guarantee
mean?
it. Yeah, 100%.
Crazy.
Especially
And you're
like in
telling
the
me that
trenches.
you're telling me like one of these deep sea creatures just don't happen to get like lost from their group or their family and they wind up at the surface and maybe one evolves into some crazy ass shit that we've never seen.
Yeah.
It's possible, man. Like, evolution's a bitch.
Yeah, and it's crazy how some animals or even organisms can live in like the craziest spots on Earth. Like they dug down in Antarctica to these areas where they thought it would be impossible for it to sustain any type of life, and it was actually teeming with life. There was tons of new organisms and creatures that they'd never seen before. So, yeah, we'll find more whenever technology advances a little bit. Shout out to Daily Dose of Humors in the chat. What's up, Dose? Am I still doing VeVe? Yes, I still live stream the drops on the weekends. I mean, I don't put in new money for gems because prices have been rough. However, every once in a while, you'll have a drop that's worth going for. It's a guaranteed profit. And of course, any drop that you go on, you have a chance of getting the lowest serial number, or sometimes there's a chaser, a secret rare. So there's a lot of times there's chances to make profits on drops, even though the entire drop isn't profitable like it used to be. We got Kryptoni in the chat. What's up, Kryptoni? Talking to Doctor Strange. Then he says, turn out carbon fiber is not so great for a submarine. We're learning stuff.
Yeah, dude. And it's, dude, could you imagine what those poor people went through, man, on that like, those last couple seconds when they started hearing that thing imploding, bro? Like,
I try not to.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on to our next topic. One of the topics we have started to talk about on these live streams is sports. Since it's kind of hard to find a lot of world news to talk about for us Americans. We don't talk about the world very often in America, but we do talk a lot about sports. And we got the NFL season kicking off pretty soon. I've got somebody's power rankings here from CBS Sports, where they got, of course, the Chiefs at number 1. They're going for a 3rd ring in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I think they won the last 2 Super Bowls with good old Patrick Mahomes, the Trump supporter. And then we got 49ers in 2nd and Baltimore Ravens in 3rd with my man Lamar Jackson. Mo, who do you like?
They got Henry now. I mean, I like the rankings. Obviously, the Jets at 11's a fucking scam. But again, if Rodgers gets hurt 4 plays into the season, they're going to be worse than that.
Is he their starting quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
I definitely don't like him.
I mean, Rodgers is one of the best to ever do it, so of course he's starting. I mean, as far as these power rankings go, obviously, so I think you know this, maybe you don't. Chat probably doesn't. I was actually a Niners fan way before I was ever a Jets fan as a kid. My first exposure to the NFL was Joe Montana, the 49ers, and my best friend, was a Jets fan, but he always watched football with his family. And like, I didn't go over there on Sundays, and my dad wasn't into football, so I didn't do the whole bleed green growing up type of deal. I didn't really get into the Jets until I got into my early teens, maybe. Like when I started understanding the game, and I was like, oh, well, we didn't have like the NFL package back then, so it was like you watched whoever your local team was. It was like Jets or Giants,
Yep.
And so I'm a Jets fan, but Niners were always my team. I just have always had a love for them, so I'd love to see them do well. We actually play the Jets. Well, they play the Jets on week 1, so that's going to be a toss-up for me. But I do think power ranking-wise, I think Chiefs definitely deserve it. Niners definitely deserve it. Sneaky team. Texans. I love the Texans. I'm a huge fan of D'Amico Ryans, the head coach, came over. He's actually a descendant from the Niners organization with Shanahan and Lynch. Love what he's doing. He's a great coach. I love C.J. Stroud. I love their receivers. Their defense is nasty. And the Lions. Let me tell you something about the Lions, okay? They have the best head coach in the NFL right now. Dan Campbell. You know who this guy is?
No.
Ex-player. Bro. This guy, if you hear this guy talk about his team, his players, and how he cares about his players as men, as players, and just as, human beings, it's hard not to root for the Detroit Lions. I absolutely love Dan Campbell and that team. I'm really looking forward to the season, man. Really looking forward to the season. And you're a you don't really have a. You guys have a hometown team?
Bro, you kidding me? Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, duh. Yeah, so there you go. I was thinking Indiana.
Yeah, they're trash these days anyway. Back in the day, though, when I first started watching them, they had Peyton Manning and Adrian James and Marvin Harrison. back then I was watching all the games. I was really pumped for the Colts to pull off a Super Bowl victory, of course. But then there's Tom Brady beating us every freaking year in the playoffs. But I've actually been a Chiefs fan since way, way, way back in the day. All my friends were 49ers fans. I've told this story before on my stream. And I didn't want to be the same as everybody else. And like you, I didn't know anything about your hometown team. You're supposed to like the team that your state is in your state. I didn't realize that. So everybody else was loving Montana and Rice. So I just picked kind of a random team. The team that I played Tecmo Super Bowl with, Christian Okoye running everybody over, was the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
And they were trash for a long time, too. I was really excited when Joe Montana and Marcus Allen went to the Chiefs for 1 year. I thought they were going to win it all, but they were past their prime, and they didn't make it.
Yeah, it was tough.
I'm
Think about Montana, too, and a lot of people disagree, but you really understand the game of football and how it works, you'll get it. But Joe Montana was not as good as his stats will ever make him seem to be. And the reason is because he was a product of the West Coast offense. The West Coast offense is the reason why Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb were able to go to the Super Bowl so many times to get their ass kicked, because the West Coast offense is like a cheat code. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quick passes, quick slants, you know what I'm saying? Bubble screens, swing routes out of the backfield, you know what I mean? Like you're basically replacing running plays with short passes, and it's like a glitch code. And you know, Reid did it for a long time with the Eagles, and it's no surprise why he does it with the Chiefs. And now he's got a way better quarterback with McCombs. So I mean, yeah, man, I'm with you, brother.
I'm shocked to see the Lions at number 4. I haven't watched football in a couple years, haven't paid close attention to it. I always remember the Lions as being the worst team in the league, so it's good to see that they bounced back a little bit. And of course, I like Ravens because Lamar Jackson is from U of L. He went to University of Louisville, right across the river from me. So I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan. Of course, that's who I always use when I play Madden, too, because he's fast and a quarterback. But, Mo, let me ask you this. Why Jets and not Buffalo or Giants?
Well, again, local market. So when you watch games, especially back in the day in the 90s, in the 80s, you didn't have the option of like, oh, watch wherever you want. Like, get the NFL package and get all 16 games. Like, that shit didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, it was either Jets or Giants. And my stepfather was a Giants fan, and I despise that motherfucker. So I refused to root for the same team for him. And I used to go over there and kick the living crap out of him, everybody else, all of his friends, my family. I used to beat their ass in Tecmo Bowl and then Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yep.
And, you know, remember, you couldn't use the same team. So it was like he would use the Giants, I would use the Jets. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As a matter of fact, back then, I think I also used to use the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken.
Bo Jackson.
Oh, yeah, you know, Bo knows, baby. That's why I got the Mo knows moniker. And my favorite player of all time, care to take a guess who it might be?
From the Joe Namath? I don't.
No.
Probably not old enough for Joe Namath. I don't know. Who's your favorite player of all time?
Think of the high step.
High step or Deion Sanders?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I like Deion too.
When I saw Deion in Atlanta and then playing baseball and shit, I was so like enamored with his whole personality, how good he was. Dude, I followed him to San Fran, to the Cowboys. I have every jersey he ever had. I got the Deion's. He's the reason why I played D-back and wide receiver, even though I'm white. But yeah, man, I love Deion. Deion's my guy.
Yeah, primetime Deion. I've got a couple of his jerseys myself that I've worn on stream several times. I see Dr. Strange talking about the Nigerian Nightmare. That's Christian Okoye for all those youngsters out there. He's an old school player. Running back. We mainly had.
You remember remember primetime football on Sega Genesis?
That was my favorite game. I played the crap out of that game.
It was basically Troy Aikman football because they got rid of Troy Aikman when he retired.
Oh yeah.
And it was originally Sega Sports. Remember, it was Sports Talk football, and Joe Montana Sports Talk. Then it went to Sports Talk. Then it went to Troy Aikman. Then it turned into primetime football, and they just stopped making it all together because they realized that Tecmo Super Bowl was always going to be superior.
Yep. But I loved that
Which
game.
is crazy when you think about it. Look at Tecmo Bowl back then with the side to side, right? Like,
right.
I've tried playing Madden like that. It's really not enjoyable. Like, it's really not. But back then, man, like that was the shit.
Yeah, it was the best option. Well, I don't know. That primetime was fun for me. I don't know why I didn't catch on and keep going because I liked the mechanics that they made in that game. I've also got pulled up here the top 10 running backs, and then we got the top 10 quarterbacks of this year. I wanted to see if my man from Indiana was going to be on the top 10 running backs, but I don't see him on there yet. Christian McCaffrey is still number 1 This is the Madden 25 rankings. Man,
Rightfully so.
yeah, McCaffrey's been a GOAT for like 3 or 4 years now. Usually running backs don't have a long shelf life, but he's got some of those same old school dudes. Nick Chubb, he's been around for a while for the Browns. I don't know if he still plays for the Browns. Then Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. I think I forgot Saquon Barkley's rookie NFT card. And then let's see, some of these guys I never heard of. Yeah, the rest of them I've never heard of. Maybe Isaiah.
Yeah, so McCaffrey definitely belongs there at number 1. Chubb, you know, it's kind of crazy that the state of the NFL running back is just pathetic. And the reason is because they're expendable now, right? Remember back in the day, like you had to have a 3-down running back, someone who could just put their head down, the Walter Paytons, the Gale Sayers, the Bo Jacksons, right?
Yep.
The Edgar and Jameses, right? Like those guys, or Marshall Faulk, put their head down, just fucking run you over. Like, we don't have those guys anymore. Look at this list. This list is actually putrid. McCaffrey belongs there 100%. Chubb gets hurt too much. Henry's old. Barkley is washed. He was overrated coming out, and he went to the Giants. Mixon's good, but he went to a new team. ATN's small. He gets injured a lot. Josh Jacobs is good, but inconsistent. Now, Kenneth Walker is sneaky. Aaron Jones is on a new squad. He's sneaky. And Pacheco might be my favorite guy on that list because of the guy on the other list with Mahomes throwing him the rock on these swing passes. And, like, dude, that Pacheco guy is insane. He's actually on my fantasy team. But the quarterback list now, did you see that behind the back pass that Mahomes threw in the preseason game?
No, I didn't see it.
Bro, apparently Andy Reid wants him to throw these crazy Brett Favre passes in the game. And I always was kind of against Mahomes. Like, he's like, remind me like a cocky Muppet, especially when he talks. But, like, dude, he's a class act, bro. This kid's something special, man. He refused to show off and do the behind the back shit in the game. But Andy Reid was like, dude, I need you to do it. So he definitely belongs at number 1. I like your guy, Lamar. He's great. The rest of them, though, man, like Allen, probably one of the best in the league. Probably belongs above Burrow. Burrow's just, oof. Tua, I mean, come on. You ever see a team that brings in a backup quarterback for 3rd and long? If that's what you're doing, you are not a starting quarterback in the NFL, my friend.
Yeah, that's not good.
Herbert, injury prone. Hurts, too small, but throws a damn good ball. Purdy's my guy. And Kirk Cousins is on a revenge tour. That could be the most dangerous guy on the list outside of Mahomes, personally
Isn't he
speaking.
old? I've heard of Kirk Cousins from back in the day,
Well,
right?
he's past his prime, so to speak, age-wise. But, man, he didn't really play that much, early on in his career, so he could have a longer shelf life. Man, he went to a stacked Falcons team, like a stacked Falcons team that if this guy can just show up a little bit, they're going to be nasty. And Breece Hall, the fact that Breece Hall is not on this list, by the way, is actually a travesty.
I never heard of Breece Hall. Who does he play for?
The Jets running back, and this kid is insane. Like, you put the freaking ball in his hands, dude, he'll break your ankles and he'll just run you over. Like, he could just do either one. And yes, I do play Madden, poke. I actually played professionally for like 4 years, made a lot of money back from like 04 to 08, 05 to 09, something like that.
Dang, you played Madden professionally?
Yeah, man. I played the original esports. I used to travel all the way up and down the East Coast, make a shit ton of money. Actually, almost got my ass kicked at the Madden Championship Series in Brooklyn. I was playing this little black dude, this Young Gun, and he used to bring his boys with him and shit talk from like 10 feet away. And, dude, they would rip it into me, bro. And my nickname on the circuit was Mean Green D because I had the nastiest defense in the business. And I would shut down that cheesy-ass Michael Vick bullshit with a corner blitz and then, like, manually cover their first read. It was game over. But, dude, these little black dudes tried to, like, fucking bully my ass in Brooklyn. It was actually kind of a wild story. I got saved by a hurricane. Can you believe that?
Were they
Fucking
evacuated or
hurricane
something?
showed up. Yeah, hurricane showed up and started like lifting all the fucking because it was like out on the Brooklyn piers. It started lifting up all the outside tents and shit and just started creating havoc.
Oh crap.
So like I just found the first pack of people and got the fuck out, dude.
Nice.
Almost didn't make it home. I went to go get on the parkway, and the flooding was so bad that my car started floating backwards down the thing.
Are you serious? Jeez.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was wild, bro.
Yeah, New York's got some crazy weather.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten to e-gaming back in the day. I don't even know if they had it, but like Street Fighter 2, stuff like that. I was killing it back. Even Tecmo Bowl. If they had an e-gaming for Tecmo Bowl, maybe they should bring that back. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Next topic is U.S. politics. It's one of the topics that we always cover on the show. And today we're going to talk about immigration. And I'm going to show you this information that I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about if you're on Twitter anyway. Been a lot of talk the last few days about Venezuelan gangs apparently taking over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado, and maybe in Denver, Colorado too. But I'm not sure like how true or real it is. So if we're looking at a couple of articles about it, and I've got all the articles linked in the description. This one says that the mayor, Mike Kaufman, announced that the city attorney's office is going to seek legal assistance to have the properties designated as criminal nuisances. It comes after footage emerged and went viral about showing those guys. We saw the picture in the apartment buildings. It says here that he posted on Facebook that it will require a municipal judge to issue the order with the goal of getting these properties back under the control. So that makes it sound like it's true and real. That's from Newsweek. But then I looked at a local news source, and it says that the interim Aurora Police Chief Heather Morris said in a police-provided interview that officers found no evidence of a gang takeover. She's quoted as saying, "We've been talking to the residents here and learning from them to find out exactly what's going on, and there's definitely a different picture. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in the community, but what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over the complex." And then in that same article, they quote Mike Kaufman, the mayor, once again, saying that the city is seeking an emergency court order to shut down the apartment buildings, and they have been overrun by the Venezuelan gang by declaring them a criminal nuisance. And he said that the apartments that they're talking about are all under the same ownership that had multiple code violations and criminal activity preceding the migrant crisis. So I don't know how real the whole Aurora thing actually is. Maybe, Mo, you can let us know, too. And I got some immigrant stats here. We'll talk about immigration in particular, in general, when it comes to this story. But I want to see what people in the chat and what Mo, if y'all have some information I don't have, or is this a real thing? Are the Hells Angels actually headed to Aurora to clean up the Venezuelan gangs?
I mean, it sure as hell seems that way. And I do think it's kind of crazy. Like when you log on, even like looking it up, I was trying to see if any recent popped up today. I see something from a few hours ago. Bro, it's like so much conflicting shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
yes.
like, what are we like? Really, like, who's trying to cover up something? Like, if we just can't get on the same page with what people are seeing, and like we're just deciphering it differently. But yeah, it actually turns out like it wasn't even like I think Doc Strange just put in chat, East Drizzle. Yeah, now they're looking at like Texas, and there's some footage coming out of Chicago. Like, bro, like this is what I'm talking about, man. I'm not against immigration, okay? I'm really not. Like, if you want to come here and you want to do shit the right way, and you want to be legal, and you want to, get the American dream, and, get a job the right way, and buy a house the right way, and get a car, get credit, whatever, do it, man. Like, fucking do it. Like, that's the beauty of this country. I don't know, man. Like, if we're gonna start getting overrun by shit, and my head's already on a swivel,
Yeah.
But am I gonna wind up having to wake up and like defend the Long Island, like South Shore borderline from like immigrants coming in on fucking boats soon? Like, I don't know what this. I really don't know what this shit's coming to, man. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But I mean, what's your take? Like, I know you've been looking it up too, right? Like, isn't it wild though that we just see so many conflicting stories, and it's not even like CNN versus Fox News, man. Like, it's even neutral sites don't know what to make of it.
I mean, it's even the citizens, and you don't even know which ones are real or which ones aren't. But when I look up information about this, I'm looking at tweets from people who say, I live in Aurora, Colorado, and half of them are saying, this is all made up. I don't see anything anywhere. And then the other half are saying, oh, this is all real. I live in the apartment building, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, you don't even know if those people...
I see hashtag paid actors, you know what I'm saying? Of like... And then who's going to discredit that, right? And then we just play this fucking carousel of who the hell knows what.
I think it's kind of suspicious to me that it happens 30 or 60 days before the election. And that's what I was kind of talking to Dr. Strange. Me and him were talking about it in DMs a little bit. And I just wonder, I mean, not only is it they're acting like it's something that it's not. They're just trying to perpetuate a situation that looks good for people that are against immigration or think that immigration is a huge problem. And like you said, they could literally hire people to do anything that they want them to do to paint a narrative that they want to paint. However, on the other hand, maybe it actually is happening. I mean, why would the mayor be trying to act like it's happening? Because it kind of makes him look bad. But then again, why would the police chief say that it wasn't happening? So I don't know. Dr. Strange.
Why wouldn't the mayor just get rid of the police chief? You know what I'm saying? Like why are these two, you know what I'm saying, not on the same page is the concerning part. You know what I mean? Like,
That's another
Doc
part
actually
that
said
makes
it.
me
Like,
suspicious.
yeah, because I saw a video, and that's probably the one he's talking about. Like, yeah, like, a lot of the videos they were showing, like, apparently this is from like years ago. You know what I mean? But then you see videos of like the tenants and stuff you're talking about. Like, is that from years ago? I mean, I don't know. Like, we need some sort of AI timestamp or some way to like fact check this shit, man. Like, there has to be something that comes of all this crazy AI
Yeah.
to help us navigate this new landscape that we're living in, man. Because it's freaking wild.
And they usually do on community notes on Twitter if there's a video that they're passing off as something that happened this week, but it's actually years ahead of time, or it happened years prior. They'll have the community notes pop up, and I didn't see any community notes on any of these videos. So, like Dr. Strange here says, so the video of them with long guns at the door holds less weight to you. Now, I mean, that's a good point. They do have long guns at the door, but are they going to the door of their own house? Are they like, taking over? Maybe they got guns that they shouldn't have, but that's not the same as taking over an entire apartment complex. So I don't really know for sure. Let's see what Dr. Strange says. It says the Hells Angels ain't doing a damn thing. The footage is old and attached to an event in Denver. Yeah, a lot of the Hells Angel footage I saw was marked with community notes that it's from a prior year. So yeah. I don't know if they're legit or not. You never can trust anything at this point. Kryptoni says, I feel sorry for anybody that comes to my house. Mexican, white, black, Filipino, don't matter. You come to my door with that, you're going to leave different, if at all. Man, I hope we don't start having people coming up to our doors. But I guess that's kind of the feeling they want everybody to have, to be scared, because the main tactic of a lot of politicians is fear-mongering to make people scared, and that gets them to get out and vote. It's a particular side. I try not to say that, but it is a particular side.
It's true, though. It's true. And like I said, I know Big A, I don't know if he's in the chat, but he knows I love to go with my anecdotal shit. But, like, dude, I live in New York. Like, I live in a place where I see a massive, impact of immigration and illegal immigration. I see it with my own eyes. Like, I don't need, I know there's research and data, but, like, I see it with my own eyes. Now, this stuff here with the being held up and whatever that's going on in Colorado, supposedly in Chicago, like, that ain't happening here. I ain't saying that's happening. But I'm just saying, like, it's been happening for a long time, dude, which is Mexicans coming in and taking, painting jobs and landscaping jobs from, like, family members of mine that do construction. Like, but, like, it is an issue, but I don't know if this particular thing is, like, an issue here. I don't think so. But my main concern about this, like I said, is, like, seeing, again, chief police and mayor not on the same page. Like, why does that even happen,
Yeah, that's crazy.
If you're supposed to be running the precinct or the district, man, like, get your shit together. Me and you do a show, we know the topics together, right? Like, we got the flow, we do it together, like, we're on the same page. I don't know, man. It's just, they're probably too busy doom scrolling on fucking TikTok or something.
Probably on Twitter, believing everything they read. Shout out to Gravity John. Yeah, we do this live stream, Me and MoKnowz, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about paranormal activity. That's what we talked about earlier. We're talking about sports a little bit. Now we're into U.S. politics, and then we're going to get into some Web3 gaming news. And Mo always has a new Web3 game for us to check out. And after that, we'll get into the crypto section where we'll talk a little bit about VeVe and DC Comics probably. Dr. Strange says the mayor spoke about it in an interview already. There's no denying it. Well, the mayor is clearly on that side. But if you got the police chief in a video, in an interview, the police chief is saying that they actually sent cops. Because I read the whole article. I only clipped a little part. But they sent a bunch of cops out to all those apartment complexes. And the cops came back and said, well, we don't see nothing. But then again, maybe they went at the wrong time. You got to go Saturday night at 3 a.m. I don't know.
Unless, like, I'm looking at two things right here, right? So it says, Aurora police, gang members have not taken over. Right underneath it, same day, from Denver Gazette. The other one was KDVR, which I'm assuming is like another local station. Mm-hmm. Aurora mayor admits gang takeover of apartment complex. It's just, again, I don't know, man. Yeah, and I see videos here too, right? But, like, paid actors. Again, like Volt's talking about, it very well could just be, some scare tactic. People just plant, listen, this shit happens all over. If you think it ain't happening in politics and the rest of the world, wake the fuck up.
Especially in an election year, right before the election happens, 60 days ahead of time. Dr. Strange said you didn't see the other videos. There's multiple videos of them in that building, only they are taking a family out by force. No, I haven't seen all that.
I've seen them, yeah. And like I said, he's not wrong. They exist, but again, we don't know if that's an actual video from that actual point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Again, there's really no way to fact check it. You can pretty much go back and forth, and then whatever side has more ammunition, they're gonna think they won.
Yeah, and if that's a one-time event and there's probably some type of backstory to it, maybe they've already had some type of interactions and that family hates the other family and it isn't nothing to do with the Venezuelan gang taking over, then that's a whole different subject, as if a whole gang was actually taking over apartment complexes in all these different cities too. And I think it's crazy that now they have a video of the same thing happening in Chicago and somewhere else. I mean, it feels like they're trying to, it seems like fear-mongering to me. Kryptoni says it's backfiring. If they try to scare me, they better be scared. I don't fear no man except the IRS. See, there's one man you fear, the IRS.
There you go.
Yeah. Dr. Strange
And
says,
Doc makes a good point though, because we talked about this I think on the show. Was that a Venezuela guy? Yeah, maybe it was actually. Remember when I took the group of cops that got beat the fuck down in broad daylight, nobody did anything, and the guys were released like the next morning? Was that shit?
Yep.
Oh, we talked about it. Was it actually a Venezuelan guy?
I don't know, but I know that I watched something about that exact event, and the guy who came out like with his fingers up in the air was actually not a part of the event at all. And then when you go back and look at the event, they show like the whole video, and the cops were actually in the wrong. They like took this guy over and started manhandling him for no reason, and the guy was actually there with his child in a stroller.
No, I'm talking about the video where it's like the 2 or 3 cops just standing there at the corner, and they just get fucking bum rushed and beat down.
Oh, it might be a different video then.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. You might be, this might be the one here. Yeah, shit actually was Venezuelan. Oh man, you know what, man? That might have been the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we cover this every week. Sometimes I just think of it as a topic. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we talked about this shit. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard too much, and my girl, works in that part, of the state. So I always tell her, man, keep your head on a swivel,
Yeah, definitely. It'd be
Real
scary.
quick, politic-wise, maybe this kind of lays in a little bit. So apparently now, do you know this? And do you agree with this? You have a kid. I don't. Maybe people in chat. I want your opinion. Do you think it's right that they used to do? Remember, we used to do like fire drills and like back in the day, they used to do like bomb scare drills, like go under the desk, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So now, when they do that, there's like mandatory emotional support groups that the kids have to do after a drill.
What?
After a drill, they have to do like mandated like psychotherapy type shit. And at one school, they walked around and like the principal was doing the freaking sound of a gun going off in the hallway, dude. Can you tell me how that makes sense? Like, I don't have a kid, but wouldn't you be outraged?
I would be outraged. I don't think anything like that is happening around here. I'm sure I would have heard of it.
That's crazy though, man. Like, I'm sure your kid does like fire drills and bomb drills and stuff, like, right? Like whatever. But like to like mandate like therapy afterwards and make sure the kids are okay. I'm like, okay from what? They didn't experience anything. They did a drill. I don't know, man. Like, it just, to me, that seemed weird. But
is that a New York thing, or is it in private schools only, or just one particular school?
My girl works in a public school, but yeah, man, I don't know. She told me that, and I was like, what? I'm like, make it make sense, like Doc said before. Make it make sense, man. Like, that's crazy to me.
And I wanted to update something we talked about like 4 weeks ago, our last show before we had a 2-week hiatus. I told you I was going to ask my kid if his teacher had ever talked to him about trans issues in any way, shape, or form. And he said no, because I did ask him. So maybe that's just a New York thing. I don't know. But they never brought it up.
Well, the thing is, it's not even a New York thing. Actually, it happens more down in like Florida and shit than it does here.
I wouldn't be surprised,
I mean, shit, the dude, Waltz, I mean, he was pushing that agenda in Minnesota. I mean, so it's not New York that it's an issue. I'm just saying that it's been brought up as an issue in other places, too. I mean, listen, it's not even the trans thing. Like, a few years ago, there was some teacher that was fired for playing Fortnite with his kids, and his students.
Yeah.
All, like, out of classroom, right? Like, that's why I tell my girl, and she tells me some stories sometimes, and I'm like, why do you have these conversations with these kids? And they have a whole different relationship than the type of relationship that I had with teachers growing up, which is why, again, like, if they're starting to push their opinion on these kids, right, who are very impressionable as children. I mean, your kid's older too, right? Like, he's not super young,
right?
But young kids, man, that are super impressionable, and they're like, yeah, it's okay, you know what I'm saying? This little Johnny wants to chop off his penis, it's okay. Like, you really should never be saying this to these kids. Like, just leave the fucking kids out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, again,
I agree with
you
that.
turn 18, when you get old enough and you're an adult and you can drive a car and you can get a job and you can vote, yo, listen, you want to chop your dick off? Go for it, man. Go for it. Like, seriously, that's on you. But if you're a little kid and you're being like groomed in some way or being manipulated in some way, I have a massive problem with that shit.
I think most people do. Most people have a problem with that.
I hope so.
Let me catch up with this the chat. Dr. Strange says, you believe the cops over video, the mayor, and the people that are tenants there make it make sense. Yeah, you definitely can't believe every video you see. You don't know the backstory. I mean, if it's just a one-time event. I need more information before I'm the type of person who's going to say, yeah, okay, I believe that Venezuelan gangs are taking over apartment buildings. I have a hard time.
I want a live stream. I want a fucking live stream. That's the only thing I'll believe in 2024, just like I did during the BLM stuff. When there's someone live streaming that shit real time, no editing, no nothing, you could find out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's being held hostage in their apartment, fucking live stream it, man. You know what I mean? I hope you're safe, but
I'm sure there's plenty of people like those Halo's Angels that are going to look for those apartment buildings so they can live stream it, so they can get some clout, they can get a lot of views, and they can prove that it's true. However, we haven't seen those videos pop up yet, so maybe they're going and they're not finding what they're looking for.
Probably also don't want to record themselves committing a crime and fucking killing somebody, but you know.
Well, hopefully they won't be doing that. Then he says, I just seen that New York just kicked out all the migrants that have been in the system for more than 60 days with no resources for them. Not sure if it's true or not. Mo, have you heard anything about that?
Well, last I checked, we don't even lock them up. Again, like those, it was the Venezuelan gang that beat down those cops, and they let them go the next morning. They just, like, we don't have the resources to be locking people up, man.
I think you're talking about the same case as me, and they found out that guy wasn't even... I have to look it up to know the exact case, but the one that I was talking about, everybody was mad because he flipped off the cameras whenever they released him, but we found out that he wasn't involved at all. They arrested the wrong guy. Dr. Strange says, am I in a Democratic or Republican state? I'm in Indiana, bro. We about as red as it gets. We ain't been blue for 100 years. Yeah, I'm very red. I'm not personally, but I'm in the country. Tony says, the hood ain't going for no takeovers, bro. Them gangs will get ran out, period. Yeah, let's see them go take over some projects. It ain't happening. I agree with that. Dr. Strange says that's a fact. They already coming together in LA and Chicago. Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything in Chicago. I need to see that footage right there because I feel like the dudes in Chicago will be all right. They got plenty of firepower. They'll be able to take care of themselves. That's because y'all don't think shit stink like you smell it yourself till you smell it yourself. I need more proof. I don't believe everything I hear, that's for sure. Kryptoni says this might be what the hood needs to come together. The Bloods and the Crips are going to come together to fight off the Venezuelan gangs. They got kicked out the shelters and the hotels, not the city. So he's talking about in New York. So I know Doc knows about that area too. They got kicked out of the shelters and the hotels, but not the city. Well, that shows that they're not just giving them resources forever. They had a 60-day, help for 60 days, and then once that runs out, you got to find something for yourself. You got to do something yourself.
Well, actually, and this actually kind of ties into it. We didn't talk about this, did we? The crazy spree of like outdoor fucking robberies and like what? Did we talk about this in New York?
I don't think so.
Oh, bro. I told my girl be real careful because she goes out a lot with her coworkers and they get dinner and shit. Yo, people sitting out, and this is 100% fact. Broad daylight, sitting outside at the tables, and fucking thieves will just go and like take over the waiter's position and just walk up and rob people out in fucking broad daylight. They'll go into like these small like off the main road restaurants, and they'll block the main door and just rob everybody that's near the entrance and get the fuck out. Oh yeah, bro. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy with how it's escalated to like people don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, oh, they're just gonna start robbing people because it's the easiest way to go about my life, you know? But 100%, that's not any sort of like biased source or anything. That's 100% happening.
No, I believe it for sure. People are having a harder time paying the bills and stuff because back in the day, you could work a regular full-time job and afford enough to save up and get a house. And these days, you work a regular full-time job and you barely have enough to get by. So it's always wealth inequality. All the money's going to the top, and less of the money is going down to everybody else. That's how.
Or you could have a Chase account. Did you hear about that?
What was it? The Chase.
There was a glitch in the Chase account where they were just basically giving out like mass like $40,000 loans to anybody that would go to the ATM.
But they were just using fake checks. It was basically just check fraud, wasn't it?
Basically, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But so there was like pictures and videos of all these people lined up. You know what I'm saying? Fucking getting money, and then everyone's just like, don't they realize that's just a new check fraud? Like these people are fucked, man. Like. But bro, like seeing people freak out when that shit was happening, like free money. I'm like, bro, y'all are nuts.
They're making TikToks about it and stuff too, and they're all gonna have a lot of debt.
That shit was funny as fuck though, man.
Woody's back. What's up, Woody? Says Mo, my daughter has the drills, but no therapy afterwards or anything.
Well, keep me posted if that changes because like this is a brand new. Again, school just started here for us
Right.
in New York this week, and this is like a brand new thing apparently.
School
So
just started this week. My kid's been in school for over a month.
yeah, we go back the latest I think in the country.
Oh, crazy.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Dr. Strange says it wasn't 60 days, it was a voucher for months. And if you think this wasn't a setup, you slow. No state has unlimited funds, and they did this with no plan. Bring people in under the guise of work. Well, they weren't bringing people in. It was the dude from Texas was busing them to New York, which I thought was actually a pretty smart move by the dude in Texas, so that other big cities, calling themselves sanctuary cities, can see what it's like to have a bunch of immigrants in your city that you have to take care of, and they weren't prepared for it. But apparently, there's
We've had them here in New York. Again, they're just typically Mexicans looking for painting jobs and trying to mow the lawn. You know what I mean?
right. They could probably charge
And most of
more.
them are
in New
really
York.
fucking cool.
Shout out to Berwickwas in the chat. Let's go. Yeah, chat is getting heated. It always gets heated during politics. Denny says, sorry, Doc. That's kind of what I meant. With no jobs
Chat's
available,
here? Really?
it makes total sense if you want chaos. With no jobs available, unemployment's way down. I'm not sure what jobs are not available. It's going to definitely be chaos, too. They're going to get what they asked for. Belt to ass. Kryptoni ready to fight some people. I can tell already. We better move this topic along
Damn.
before Kryptoni gets violent in the chat and get into some Web3 gaming. Web3 gaming, one of the topics I wanted to talk about, Mo wanted to talk about, was the Shrapnel, all the stuff that's going on with Shrapnel, the Web3 game. And I just happened to be watching Crypto Stash this weekend. I kind of wanted to see what kind of videos he was doing these days, if he was still around, and he was, and he made a video about Shrapnel and all the stuff that's going on with it. And I know Mo watched the video too, so I'm going to play a little bit of a clip of some gameplay from Shrapnel. You'll see what a good game it is. And I'll let Mo tell you about the controversy going on with the Shrapnel game right now.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to Crypto Stash, the guy. Yeah, he is still around. He does some good work. I like that guy. Yeah, so this was a game I think we talked about. I think I bought a pass to get access to it, like a non-NFT access. But they have like testing sessions, and yeah, I mean, the game itself it plays well. It's good. Graphics are pretty decent. Like on this map here, I'm a little behind I think on the video, but some maps have more detail put in than others right now. But yeah, man, like. So what's going on with the game, though? Apparently, there's like a bunch of lawsuits between original founders and creative directors over the token and who had like original ownership of the IP. And then a lot of people stepped down. I don't think it was any founders that stepped down. Actually, I think I originally thought founders stepped down, but none of the founders. Like a lot of like chief operating guys and a lot of blockchain guys stepped down. So again. This isn't really more about the game. This is more about like the idea of Web3 gaming and the pushback. You know what I mean? And I just wonder if that's why you'll see like a slew of people just out of nowhere step down and just kind of like leave the project and move on. It's not like they're like, oh, they're moving on to other type of games. Some of them left the industry altogether. Like Crypto Stash was showing people on their LinkedIns and stuff like that, right? So I don't know, man. I just think it's another setback, for the NFT gaming, Web3 gaming narrative between this and then you got off the grid too. So
I've got a link to the Crypto Stash video.
Yeah,
in the
that's a good
description.
watch.
There's also a link to this that shows some gameplay. But like Mo was saying before the stream started, it sounded like a lot like VeVe stuff happening because you got all these people in high positions that are just resigning kind of out of nowhere. Now they're dealing with this lawsuit, and I'm assuming it's causing the price of the assets to go down too. Have you looked at any of the prices?
I haven't. I don't really dive too much into that ecosystem. I bought, like I said, there was like an NFT access, and then it was like just spend $20 and get like a pass to play when the testing is open. That's all I got. So I never actually dove into the ecosystem on that game too much, but I would imagine those prices have to be down.
Yep, which
They're not down as much as my World Shards game, like I told you before the show.
Yeah.
An island that I bought for 2,200 or 1,700, and it went to 3,600, and I sold it for 2,700. Dude, those things are down to $400 right now. It's insane.
That's World Shards. It's a Web3 game we talked about in the past. Do you know what? Was there a particular thing that happened to make all the prices fall?
Just overall, sentiment around crypto. Crypto's down. NFTs are down. Everything's down in general. Morale's down. And what they also did, which was stupid on their part, they released Exalted and Mythical Islands. And the highest was Legendary at the time. That's what I owned. So they actually released 2 more separate rarities of items or islands rather that are higher up.
Yeah,
So
that'll definitely drive prices down. We know that from
yeah.
VeVe.
Yep. So the other rarities are now going to drop in price, and so forth. But yeah, I think I told you originally I was like 2,400 in on that game.
Yeah.
After I sold everything, got everything out, made my profits, whatever. I am now, because I own like a purple island, a bunch of crazy NFT shit that'll earn me stuff, and I'm only 175 bucks there.
Hey, that's not bad.
But like I told you before the show, they have over 2 grand locked on their fucking platform because KYC in New York, they have no withdrawals available for New York yet.
Yeah, like I said, New York has some messed up crypto laws, crypto rules, so Mo's kind of dealing with that right now, not able to cash out, even though he's got a little bit of money in there. Let me catch up with the chat, and then we got one more game we're going to talk about. Dr. Strange, still on the politics, says if there were jobs available for them, you wouldn't see them on the streets. Watch some New York City vids that are some, I don't know what to tell you, but can't be in a bubble, brother. I mean, I know, Doc, me and you talk about this all the time. I'm sorry, I don't believe a lot of the stuff that you're being fed, and then you try to show me, and it's like, hey, this is propaganda. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people that are immigrants, but, I mean, they're trying to help them. I don't know what else you want them to do. They need to spread out a little, I guess. Tons of videos from the news themselves. Yeah, but they definitely, by statistics, commit less crime than normal citizens. I mean, you got to keep that in mind. People call them
documented. They have less documented crime, which again could open up a whole new. I don't know if we want to dive back into that sector, but I mean, really
Right.
depends on what you want to go down. Which again, I kind of always see both sides of that. Because anecdotal, I see it with my own eyes in New York. It's absolutely a problem. But across the globe, yeah, maybe we should just spread them out. I don't know.
Shout out to Big A's in the chat. Let's go. We got Ronnie Lido here. Was in the middle of watching a PBD podcast. Sometimes I watch a little bit of PBD. Patrick Bet David. But
PBD?
Patrick Bet David. He's a business bro. He's pretty much right wing, but he's got a couple of dudes on his panel that aren't super right wing. They're more centrist, and then he'll have sometimes people like Chink Uger and Anna Kasparian on his show. So he has some good guests, although they usually argue. Big A says I was used to getting the Discord warning. Yeah, I was gonna do that, and I was telling Mo before we went live I haven't done the Discord warning and tagged everyone, but I was afraid to open up my browser because it might crash my computer. It's just my computer's been a problem lately. Gold Stan Lee on its way up. We're gonna get into the VeVe stuff. Y'all let me know what's pumping and what's dropping.
Oh, yeah.
It really
Yeah,
is.
and as far as the what's it called? The hell game we talk about?
We're going to talk about Parallel next.
Oh yeah, just to wrap up my Shrapnel. Yeah, I mean the future of the game. It seems like it's still going. They're trying to do damage control on Twitter and stuff and social media. And I mean, again, if you believe the narrative and don't kind of read between the lines like CryptoStash tends to do, I would definitely be a little concerned about that project. And I'll leave it at that.
It looks good though. The game looks awesome. I feel like you're just watching Call of Duty. It's something I would definitely play.
Yep.
And then the
next game, I don't know if you'll play the next game. I don't know if a lot of people would play the next game, but I do love card games, and this is just another Web3 card game that I stumbled across that had an open beta. Parallel. It actually has like this whole universe and lore tied into it that I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole. Obviously, it's breeding week on PFL and it's craziness, but yeah, this is another game, Parallel. Again, if you're into like trading card games, you like Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, it's interesting. I haven't bought anything, haven't put any money in, but you make a free account and you can just get some free cards and play and learn the game. But fun little game to kind of kill the time.
That's something I'd probably be interested in. I've always said Marvel Snap should be a Web3 game. If it's as good as Marvel Snap and it's Web3, I'd spend a bunch of money on it. I'd be all into that kind of stuff. I like card games.
I think that other card game that I play you would enjoy then, because that definitely reminded me of like Marvel Snap.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. But this one, not so much. This is like a little more hardcore. It might lean more towards the Magic the Gathering side.
Well, I like that. I played Magic the Gathering a little bit, as nerdy as I am. Ronnie Lytle says, I just like information from as many people as I can get it from, hence why I'm here to watch this show. Yeah, that's how I am too. We were talking about the whole Venezuelan gangs in Aurora, Colorado. and there's a lot of conflicting information coming from both sides, so I don't really know what to believe. I don't live in Colorado. It's too cold for me anyway. So maybe we'll do some more research and try to find out what's really going on. Then he says you can call the cops so many times for them not to show up, you just get sick of calling. Ooh, yeah, they show up here, but this Indiana. Big A says just over 3 weeks left till you get free money for playing Hamster Combat. I've been seeing Big A posting, not just Big A, a couple people posting their accounts on Hamster Combat. Mo, is that something you've checked out?
No, because the thing is, when Big A sends me something, 1 out of 10 of them will make me money, and the other 9 lose me money. So I'm just gonna bank on that this is one of the 9, and not the 1. And if it is one of the 1, then I'll go play the game and buy shit afterwards. Like, yeah, I haven't really dove into the Hamster Combat.
I know Big A put me on to Avalanche, and I should have jumped into it when he told me because it took off afterwards, but I got into it late. Still made some money on some Avalanche coins, but not Avalanche itself. And then we're...
Actually, I have a bunch of I saw a bunch of ABX token that just hanging on to in case we ever get out of this crazy rut that we're in, crypto world.
I hope we do, because it's getting rough out there. It's been rough for a while. Shout out to Atoms in the chat. Let's go. What did you miss? We're on our crypto topic. We're going to talk a little bit about VeVe and DC over on Candy. What you missed, for a quick recap, our paranormal topic was Mokele-Mbembe, which is a dinosaur that apparently lives in Central Africa, although we're starting to think it might be a rhino that got misidentified. And then sports, we talked about the best NFL teams this year, the best quarterbacks, the best running backs. I'm going to try to watch some NFL, but I don't have my old school cable like I used to, so I'll probably just get Sports Center highlights.
Say less. Nah, say less. I got you.
Oh, really? Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
Say less. I got you.
Get my own NFL Game Pass from MoKnowz, sign on to his account. And then politics. As you probably heard, we were talking about the Venezuelan gangs that are apparently taking over apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado, although we don't know if it's true or not. And gaming, Shrapnel, and Parallel. And the links to the Parallel website, if you want to check out that Web3 card game, are in the description. All right, so for crypto, what's going on with VeVe? I don't really know. I haven't kept up a whole lot. Maybe in the chat, y'all can let me know what's going on in the world of VeVe right now. I know that we've got this drop coming up this weekend that is Happy Tree Friends, which is probably one of the worst IPs on VeVe. However, they're doing some type of mystery box, and I don't know the details about the mystery box. I saw where David Yu tweeted about it, I think today. I don't know. Can y'all give me details on the mystery box? I didn't look it up before the stream. It seemed interesting. We had a couple comics dropping. Comic dropped today on VeVe.
Yeah, it was like a Wolverine comic or something.
Yeah. I'm assuming it didn't do well, but I don't know for sure. I mean, you could pretty much make that assumption.
Yeah, it's a good assumption. I think... So how did that Wolverine brown... I meant to look it up, actually. Then I tried to log into my damn VeVe account. It gave me a bunch of weird shit. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. How did that Wolverine with the brown jacket? Was that the one that was coming? The short supply?
Yeah, well, somebody said something about it in the chat. Maybe y'all can update us on the Wolverine brown suit drop. But I know last weekend we had the Wolverine leather jacket drop. That one
That's
only
what I'm talking about. The brown leather jacket, right?
No, it's a black leather jacket. It's different from his brown suit because we had that, I think, the week before. But last week's drop with the black leather jacket, there was 1,100 was the supply. There was only one rarity, the X jacket. Thank you. And there were at the retail was 40. And it only sold, I think, a little bit over half. So we're even having drops now with only 1,000 editions that aren't selling out of characters like Wolverine. It wasn't FA, so that hurts it a little bit. But still, with only 1,000 editions, it's kind of hard to see something like that not selling out. It's kind of crazy.
Wasn't there a Wolverine like collectible that was super low mint size? Am I tripping? Or has that not come out yet?
Well, I think we've had 3 Wolverine drops, but maybe with the brown suit, there might have been a chaser, like a secret rare with a really low supply. But I don't remember correctly. I think there's going to be like 4 different Wolverine drops like they did with Hulk, and the X-Jacket one was the 3rd Wolverine drop. We'll see if the chat can catch us up on prices and editions. Ronnie Lido says, there's many ways to watch sports games for free. I know there's that, it's called like tweak streaming or meth streaming or something like that, where you can watch like anything for free, but the chat is wild. Don't read the chat.
Yeah, don't read those chats. I mean, listen, nowadays, it's the same way that we read, Reddit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just happen to even like put NFL in front of the word Reddit and to put .com behind it, it might actually work. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's on the line. If you want to see it now, it's on the line, Paul.
There you go.
One of my favorite movies, bro. The Internship. You ever see that movie?
I think so.
Vince
Not for
Vaughn,
sure.
Owen Wilson, with like the Owen Wilson does the whole like we're in a blender bit.
No, maybe I didn't. I might not have seen that
Oh,
one.
dude, that's you want to have a good laugh, bro. That movie will make you laugh start to finish, and it's a pretty not a long movie, but it's one of the movies that it seems like it's a half-hour show. That's how good it is.
Nice.
Really well done.
C-Spill says, is VV Vegas still a thing? Is anyone going? Yeah, definitely Decon in Vegas. I think it's November, and I know that Arcade is having a party at his place, so there's definitely still stuff going on. We got Wes in the
So-
chat. Says, is Alluvium toast? Do you know anything about Alluvium?
Yeah, I mean, I actually heard it was making a little bit of a resurgence, but I think that was only the 3 people left playing it. No, I don't actually know the numbers on Alluvium. What I do know about Alluvium is that they're very VeVe-like, in where they just blow smoke up your ass and they expect you that you're fucking retarded and can't understand, basic English. So they're like, oh, we'll just say a bunch of words and then people will just be okay with it, But if anybody that understands, coding, gaming, design, you see right through the bullshit. They don't know what they're doing. Same thing with VeVe and the VeVeverse. Like, you're gonna outsource it. You're gonna have third parties come in and develop, tools or use existing platforms like VeVe's doing.
Yep.
It shows their inability.
Yeah, I tried. That's one of the few Web3 games I tried to play, Alluvium, and I was like, this is dumb. It's like a kid's game. I was not interested at all. And everybody else was like, we don't play the game. We just buy and sell the assets. I'm like, I'll pass on this one. Kryptoni says, I'm going to be in Vegas, so Kryptoni be there. Make sure if anyone goes, you wear your Omi Army hat. I can't wear my hat. It's digital, sir. I wasn't going anyway. Ronnie Lido likes the internship. I've been watching Cobra Kai. I've been finally getting into that series because at first you could only watch the first episode and the rest was behind a paywall. But now all 6 seasons are on Netflix, so the binging has begun. I'm on season 2, and I'm enjoying
You're
it.
only on season 2, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, oh man, I'm jealous. I would love to experience that show again for the first time. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it, but that show started on YouTube, right? You know that. It was a
Right.
YouTube Red show.
Yep.
And it was like the only YouTube Red show that actually made it, like out of whatever. But dude, that show, right? When I first saw the first episode, I'm like, this is great. And then they get to the end of the first episode and it goes to the black and it's got the music kicks in with the rock and roll and shit, the metal.
Yep.
Bro, goosebumps. I got goosebumps just thinking about that show. It's so good.
Yeah, it is
And
good.
apparently, once it ends, it's going back to the big screen. They're going to continue the story on the big screen. So it's kind of crazy how it went from like a movie franchise to a TV show, and now it's going back to the big screen. So
Oh,
kind of
really?
cool. Yep.
Interesting. I wouldn't mind watching that. I got to get through all these seasons, though, then check out the new movie apparently they're making on that. Kryptoni says the Gold Stanley went from 48 to 70 since this show has been on. I don't think it has anything to do with this show. I didn't even know that was in the news or that was trending right now, but apparently I never liked those Stanleys personally. Apparently the Gold Stanley is going up a little bit. Ronnie Lido says Cobra Kai is so good. They did that show justice.
Man.
I don't know. I was starting to
Yep.
get bored with it. So now that y'all are giving me this information that it gets better and better, then I'll keep watching it because I was kind of slowing down for me. Kryptoni said I had early beta access for Alluvium. It was boring and confusing. I agree.
Now, let me real question. Quick qualifier. You've seen all the Karate Kid movies, right?
I didn't watch the one with Jaden Smith.
No. I mean like only the Daniel LaRusso Karate Kid movies. Even though Jaden Smith actually wasn't half bad, I'll give him credit. It wasn't terrible. But you've seen Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, right? The original.
Yep.
Okay, because you have to know that Karate Kid lore to even remotely understand what the hell is happening
True.
as you start to progress through the show. You're gonna learn that. But the thing about season 2, and again, I'm not gonna spoil anything. They tried to like develop like this emotional response from the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As opposed to just the nonstop fight scene, action, ass kicking type shit. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm pretty sure that you're on season 2, yes. So you're about to witness is just the pinnacle of Cobra Kai. So enjoy. Holy shit! I can't believe you've never seen it, bro. I'm so jealous. I want to watch that show for the first time again. It was so good.
Now, like I said, it was like you said, YouTube Red is when it first came out, and I watched the first episode, and the rest were behind a paywall. But I remember I really liked that first episode, and I always knew that I was going to watch the rest of this series at some point. Just like I always know one day I'm going to binge watch all of Games of Thrones. I've never seen any Games of Thrones TV shows.
Fantastic show.
Yeah, I'm going to binge watch that whenever it comes on to Netflix or some type of streaming service that I have. Bariqua, my man Bariqua says the brown suit Wolverine will cost you $6.99, and it was only $6.99. Must have had several different rarities. As for the brown suit Wolverine, there's only 9 left apparently. Probably no secret rares, or people would have bought those out already. Big A says the beta for Illuvium was just jumping around a pretty empty land. The games look great, but gameplay was lacking huge. But they've been working on it. I think
You know what it is though, like, and maybe Big A knows, maybe you know, but the reason why that is because they just use these cookie cutter Unreal Engine demo showcases, right? And I use them. I used to use them all the time too.
Templates, right?
And was that?
They're templates, right?
Yeah, so it's basically a template, right? So yeah, you get like this fidelity, these high fidelity graphics because that's what Unreal Engine gives you right out the gate. What they fail to ever tap into is like how to make it unique and not feel like an Unreal Engine 5 or Unreal Engine 4 showcase, template. Like that's what they always struggle with. So yeah, they're working on it, but they just work the same way I'm trying to learn, blueprint coding on Unreal Engine 5, like the new version. They're trying to learn the same shit, and to me, that's a scam. If they're raising the money and they're doing the same thing that I'm doing on a nightly basis, that's a scam. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of what VeVe is doing too. Dr. Strange says they really didn't need to make a Black Karate Kid. My boy shares his backyard with Ralph Macchio. So Ralph Macchio's in that Karate Kid with Jaden Smith? I forget what it's called, but I do remember the next Karate Kid coming out with Hilary Swank, although I never watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, the next Karate Kid. I actually never saw those either. The Jaden Smith one, was Ralph Macchio in it? I don't think he was. But the cool thing about that, it was the scene in the beginning where it's like, did you see? You said you didn't see it, but there's like a scene in the beginning where he's trying to teach him like discipline. The kid's like really like talking back and shit. And he does like this thing with the jacket. He makes him like pick up the jacket. And it reminded me of like the wax on, wax off part with Daniel's son and Mr. Miyagi.
Right.
And it kind of, at first I was like, man, this movie might actually be pretty good. But at the end of the day, it wasn't that great. But that scene was pretty sick.
I think that's like part 5. I think the Hilary Swank one to me was like part 4. What's the one with Jaden Smith called?
Just Karate Kid, 2018 or whatever the fucking year it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know a karate movie I really liked back in the day when I was a kid? I'm sure everybody saw this too. Sidekicks. Did you watch Sidekicks?
Sidekicks, but my movie was Three Ninjas.
Oh yes, I love Three Ninjas.
Tum Tum, bro. Yo, Tum Tum, Colt, Rocky. Oh, I can't even remember their names, bro.
I can't believe you remember their names either.
Off the rip, chat. I remember these fucking names. Holy shit, bro.
I love that.
Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Oh my god, I'm having a flashback.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid, I swear.
Then we had Surf Ninjas. Surf Ninjas was a weird ass like wannabe Three Ninjas.
I may have saw that one. I'm not sure.
Oh my god, bro! I gotta watch Three Ninjas tonight, dude.
It makes me want to watch it too. Kryptoni says I wanted to love Muzzle Run so bad, but it was super confusing. If they simplify that game, it will be top 10. The idea is amazing. They definitely need to. They need better graphics and better user interface for their website.
So they came out with new graphics.
Okay.
I think they look worse than before. Chat can maybe disagree if they've seen it. Do you realize what they did? They committed Web3 suicide. They are trying to take on horse racing. Okay. For the birthday presents for 2 years of Muzz Run, they gave everybody a present that opened up with a breedable horse. Ooh. After they just bought Chicken Derby this week. Okay. So let's just backtrack for, I know we're going to probably get over, I'm going to be quick. We're talking about Muzzle Run. I love Tom. I love his vision. He's a really cool guy, but that guy is fucking delusional. How do you release more games when you can't even finish one? You got dog racing that's weird as hell, confusing, and just weird. And then you could bring on soccer, which they can't even get going. Then you're bringing on chicken racing, and now you're going to try to do horse racing. Like, how much money are they trying to raise before they even finish one thing? You know what I mean? Like, am I wrong on this?
No, that's a good point. I was wondering about what happened with the soccer, because that's what they were kind of talking about when I was still doing a little bit of muzzle running. But apparently soccer never took off.
Not always do that.
I feel like that was going to be a hard game to design.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, the soccer is going. Like, you can like enter a match. You know what I'm saying? Like, I own a team with VE, but like, I have no intention of playing it, man. Like, it's just it's. So here's the thing, right? If you guys want to say, oh, all video game companies do it, that's bullshit. Okay. Again, I was a lead tester, Ubisoft, EA, and one thing, and this is not from them, but this is from a Fortnite interview early on. Think of the player base that Fortnite had, right? One of the most amazing, biggest early player bases of all time. put gaming on the map, put streamers on the map. Even they said it. You cannot have multiple game modes when a game comes out like that, when it's still early, because you don't have the player base. You don't want to split them up. If Fortnite's saying that, how is a game like Muzzle Run going to have 4 different separate ecosystems running simultaneously with a player base of like double digits? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing.
Crazy.
You know?
Yep.
So it's kind of crazy, but that's what they're up to. And another thing happened. I was posting about Fool's Day on PFL. And so I have exposure to all the horse games, right? From syndicates and friends or whatever. And there's this Owners Club game, which is like potentially a competition for PFL, but it's really not that good. And again, it's clumsy, clunky, doesn't make sense. Pay to win. And now their shills, there's like a competition for like Twitter interactions, I think, on their Discord or something. So now their shills are starting to come into the PFL tweets.
Oh, yeah.
We never did that with Zed Run because it was just a scumbag thing to do.
Right.
But I've been putting fucking these douchebags in their place, bro, for days, man. Holy shit. I went out with some dude yesterday. He's like, well, you have to remember that, like, you could do this in PFL. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody coming into PFL making easy money. I promise you. I was like, the last thing I said to him, like, wake me up when people on Owners Club are pulling in like 100K a month. Wake me up.
Right.
Owners Club, like the tweet. They're following me. It's fucking wild, bro. It's fucking
crazy.
wild.
They liked it.
But I said on there, I'm like, if you're a Web3 sports gaming platform and you're trying to do horse racing right now, you might as well just close your doors and call it quits because you're committing suicide. It's absolutely diabolical to even think. If PFL is kind of, I'm not saying they're not struggling, but they're waiting, you know what I'm saying, for the bubble, and they're waiting for mobile. If their prices are coming down, what the hell do you think a shitty horse racing game is going to do? You know what I mean? So
yeah, PFL already took over half of the usership of Zed Run because it was just so much
more
better of a game.
It's probably closer to 90% of Zed players are on PFL now.
Yeah, all
and
those
Zed's trying to make a comeback too.
All those old stables in Zed Run that I used to remember. Now I see them all in PFL.
Yep, and Zed's trying to make a comeback. You know, yeah. So. I didn't really want to derail it too much, but man, like there's just so much crazy Web3, you know what I'm saying, like crypto side, because everyone's trying to pack their bags, you know, like same thing with VeVe, you know. And I didn't want to touch on DC or Candy, but like, what the hell are they up to, chat? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that a little bit. Let me get into Wes's comment here, because this is something I wanted to mention too. He asked, whatever happened to the red metallic tees we got, but now just crickets. So during those drops, we had 3 red metallic drops in a row, and during that time, the community manager of My Collectibles tweeted out something to the sense of, what if owning all of these red metallic collectibles got you something? And then somebody asked in the comments, does that include Doc Ock, which is the one that was red metallic that was released over a year ago? And he said it's in the blog too. So he was hinting around that you get something for owning all the red metallics, and apparently he's teasing that something's coming again, but it was during somebody's stream. So nothing.
It better come.
I know, that's what I'm saying, because if it
or
doesn't
it could be his ass on the line.
That's like,
you know,
that's market manipulation right there, because that incentivizes people to go out and pay more money for those collectibles. So I mean, it seems pretty shady that they would even do that, whether something's coming or not. Honestly.
I personally love My Collectibles. I do think there's a little bit of a conflict of interest in what he does, a little bit. But listen, if he's gonna just try to hype some shit up and there is some things coming, all right, cool, man. But if it turns into another Alcon, you know, wearing a Pokemon jacket to fucking Comic-Con,
that's messed up.
You know, 4 years ago, like, I'm gonna take some serious umbrage with that. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I mean, I just think he's a really, you know, stellar guy. I don't really have an issue with him. But
yeah, even if it comes like a year later, there's some type of benefit for holding all the red metallics. It's like, by then, that you already manipulated the market. Nobody cares anymore. It's just, it seems messed up to me. All right, we got some other people mentioning some other good karate movies, and Ronnie Lido makes a good point here. You can't forget Tum Tum, the 3 ninjas. He was
so good, bro.
He was the leader. Doctor Strange says 5 Deadly Venoms. That's one I've seen. Kid with the Golden Arms, I've not seen. And then the Drunken Master, if it's the Jackie Chan one, because I think there's an older one too, but the Jackie Chan one is one of my favorite karate movies. I love the Drunken Master.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Very good.
Jackie Chan, bro, another classic guy, bro.
I ain't seen him in a while. Wonder what happened to him.
He's done. He's old, man.
He got old. He can't do his own stunts anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you had like the Drunken Master, you had like Rumble in the Bronx, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The Rush Hour stuff. I
Rush
mean,
Hour 2, Rush Hour 3. Ronnie Lytle
yeah.
says, a game I'm waiting for is called Astro World. Came out with a new game to run analytics for Astro World. Charge their followers $10 to beta test for their other game. What? They charge $10 to their followers to beta test for other games? That seems messed up. I haven't heard of Astro World. I know that's the name of some Travis somebody's. I should probably know
Oh,
this.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott's one of his videos.
I was like, why does that sound so familiar? Yeah, I think that's why I'm thinking that.
Yeah, I don't know much about Astro World. Is that Web3? Let me know. Ronnie Little says, we, in a world of first come, first serve with anything, no matter what, if it always comes to siphoning money from consumer, I mean, it's a business. That's what businesses do.
I mean, it's smart, and most of the people that diversify too early don't make it. That's the biggest issue.
Big A says, I used to love The Last Dragon. Is that the one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in it? I think it is. It was like Bruce Lee's last movie, maybe. I could be wrong about that.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in that?
Yeah, he was in one of those Bruce Lee movies. Yeah.
God,
100%.
honestly, I wanted to be a ninja growing up. You know what I mean? All that shit. But I watched Bruce Lee movies, but I never I probably haven't watched them in the past 30 fucking years. I'm only 42, so I was a Van Damme guy, bro. Like I just watch Kickboxer. I just watch Death Warrant. I go through Lionheart.
Lionheart was my jam. I loved me some Lionheart.
Dude. You know what I mean? But like, oh, dude, there's so many good scenes in that fucking Lionheart movie, bro. The swimming pool fight, the one in the parking garage, bro. Oh, dude, Van Damme. That was my guy. You know what I mean? More than like the Bruce Lee type stuff. But.
Except for Double Impact. I didn't like Double Impact, although I thought it was like two Van Dammes. This is going to be great, but it was kind of corny.
Double Impact was corny as fuck. Yeah, the whole, the upscale limo scenes and shit. That was a weird.
Danny OC says, do they not have to disclose for Disney if an airdrop is a part of it? Have they not said that there was an airdrop? They did say it was Marvel, not Disney. Or maybe it was Disney. Ooh, that's a good question. But at some point, either Disney or Marvel said or announced that they won't be having any type of airdrops without prior notification, which in this case, it would be a Marvel collectible, and it would be an airdrop, or we don't even know if it's an airdrop. Maybe he's talking about something else, but we don't have prior notification, so that would be against what they told us in the past. What's up, Jay Hirsch? You already missed the politics section, luckily.
Wasn't there one collectible that VeVe dropped where it utilized older versions of said collectible, but because they announced it with the new collectible, it made it okay? Did that not happen?
What was it?
So they said they had to announce it beforehand, right? So I could have sworn that there was a drop maybe a few months ago that basically was using old NFTs, like old collectibles, in a new mechanic. So it was announced for like a new NFT drop, but using old collectibles that it wasn't announced for. But am I tripping? I don't know if you know that in the chat.
I know they did that with Alien, and you had to have the Xenomorph Alien. But they might have done it with a Disney or a Marvel one. I don't really pay that much attention anymore. I'm sure somebody in the chat will remember.
I remember saying,
the RoboCop jetpack.
Yeah, but that's not Marvel or Disney.
No.
Man, maybe I'm just fucking tripping. Maybe I'm just I could have sworn I remember seeing something drop and then like an airdrop or a burn mechanic, and I was like, oh, but I thought they had to announce it ahead of time for older collectibles. Maybe not. Again, this is why I used to do the VeVe stuff and stay in touch. But
right. Kryptoni and Doctor Strange said that was okay. The one with Kareem is Enter the Dragon. The Last Dragon is somebody else. It was Enter the Dragon. I remember Enter the Dragon. I think he passed away during that movie. Let's see. Ronnie Lido says they came out with a second game before they finished the first game to run tests on the mechanics. Oh, okay. But everyone paid $10 to play it, then found out it was a testing game. Oh, I'd be mad if I found out afterwards. Even if it's only $10, I'd still be mad. Warriors wasn't a karate flick. I tried to watch Warriors once.
Warriors.
I couldn't get into it.
Out and play.
I do like the video game, though. There's a Warriors video game that came out that I liked.
Damn good game. Yep, I remember that shit.
Dr. Strange says the only Van Damme I used to watch was Rob Van Dam. Yes.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Sabu's number one, but Rob Van Dam might be number two. Yeah, Woody knows about
Jimmy
Double
Fly.
Impact.
Superfly Snooker. Jimmy Superfly Snooker or Jimmy Fly?
No, I'm talking about Sabu.
No, I know.
That's his son.
I just
think.
found him. Is that his son?
I think it might be they're related in some way, like his nephew, something like that. I have to check. I have to go back and look. Ronnie Letter says Journey to the West is one of my favorite. Journey to the West is my favorite movie of all time. Stephen Chow movies are great. That's the same director that did Kung Fu Hustle. Mo, you ever seen Kung Fu Hustle?
Oh fuck yeah.
Yes, I love that movie. And Journey to the West is even better. There's a part 2 I watched not too long ago, and part 2 is really good too. C. Spill says Bruce Leroy in Show Enough was the Last Dragon. There's a dude named Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy. Yeah.
How have I never heard of Bruce Leroy? That's hilarious. I thought it was
No, bro, that's a funny ass movie, bro. Yeah, oh, Bruce Leroy, dude. We used to fucking riff on that all the time.
Dr. Strange says the original Westworld is a crazy concept and flick. Westworld. That's not one I've heard of. Have you heard of Westworld, Mo? Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Westworld was that Western show where they were like bringing people in for to like almost like LARP in like the old Wild West, but then they were all robots and animatronics, but then or they started taking over. Wait, I might just spoil some crazy shit. Hold on, hold on. Fuck, my bad. Yeah, basically they just brought people in from like the outside world to like a pre-made town to like LARP and RP, but shit gets real. Let's just leave it at that. I actually thought it was a pretty decent show. I watched season 1, but then season 2 they lost me on that show, but pretty decent.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shows like that where season 1's really good and then it just goes downhill from there. Jay Hirsch says
Majority of shows are like that.
Nvidia's down 270 billion today, the largest one-day loss of any company in history. I bet Pelosi sold last week. Yeah, that makes sense. But wow, Nvidia down 270 billion. I wonder if they announced like a new way to make chips without whatever it is that Nvidia invested in. You got any information on Nvidia?
I do not actually. I stay far away from all that stuff, but I would imagine it's just the AI bubble, man. Like this shit's popping, bro. You know what I mean? Like I told you I was around for the early, you know, tech days of stocks and shit. Like when that tech bubble popped on a Monday at my firm, I watched a guy make like fucking like they make $4 million. And on a Friday, he lost like 10 and was contemplating jumping out the window, man. Like he just wanted to end it. You know what I mean? Like this guy was he was down and out, and that was the bubble pop of the tech crash. So it's possible, man. You know, that AI bubble was pretty big.
Yeah, it makes sense. Kryptoni says God of War, Metal Gear Solid, Tekken were some of my favorite games. Tekken, that's my favorite. I never played God of War.
Tekken was a great fighter game.
Tekken was my favorite. Big fan. New Jack.
I used to use Law. I used to use Law.
Law.
He was like Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he did the flips.
Yep.
I used Lei Wulong. That was my dude, Lei Wulong.
Is that the old guy? Wait, Wulong?
He's the one that did
Who's the old man?
He did the drunken. No, it wasn't what Lei Wulong. I'd have to go back and look. Wong, I think maybe Wong. But Lei Wulong, he's the one that would like lay down in the middle of the match and then come up and kick you and then do drunken style.
Oh yeah. Dude, that was a fun game, man. It's a fun series. It's still going, I think. I think I own like Tekken 7 or 8.
Yeah, they have big Tekken tournaments. I think they're all in Asia pretty much, but there's some huge Tekken tournaments. Denny OC says New Jack was a legit badass. I like New Jack. I feel bad for New Jack though, because man, his head is all messed up from gigging, I think is what they call it, when you make yourself bleed in wrestling. He did that so many times, like his head is just busted. But if you go back and look at some of his matches with that big fat guy Vic Grimes, they were like throwing each other off of balconies. Oh man, it was some crazy stuff. Twisted Metal, Leroy Jenkins.
That was a banger.
Twisted Metal, I played a little bit of. I didn't get deep into that.
That's a game they need to bring back. They tried to. Twisted Metal Black, I think, on PS3.
They should bring that back. That'd be a good one to bring back.
It's just hard, bro. Like I said, we live in a world now where like you really have to create a certain type of game to make it even worth it. You know what I mean? And usually it's not a game like Twisted Metal anymore. It's like a live service game. It's something that's like the new example would be The First Descendant. I don't know if you know what game I'm talking about.
Nope.
Kind of like a Destiny third person, drop in and out of zones, you know, loot grinding type of game. Those are the games everyone's making 'cause that's what everyone's playing. Or a BR, you know, battle royale. Get in, find your loot, talk shit, you know, get lit and then get out. You know, like.
Yeah, and I like those battle royale games.
Oh, me too. But I'm just saying, it hurts because a lot of these other types of games like that were massively successful back in the day probably wouldn't be as successful. And a lot of those games required or relied on couch co-op, which most people don't even leave their fucking house anymore, let alone go visit someone and play video games at their house. So, you know, a lot that goes into it.
Shout out to Leo's in the chat. What's up, Leo? Says the Department of Justice has officially sent NVIDIA a subpoena regarding its antitrust investigation. Oh, that probably caused the prices to tank right there. There's
I'll do it.
Yeah, the Department of Justice. I'm surprised it's not the SEC that's looking into them. It's the Department of Justice. So I must have done some major stuff right there. Yul Brenner. I know the name, but I don't know who Yul Brenner is. Just seen someone pumping NVIDIA. I won 2K playing. Oh, Jack. Was that his name, Jack? Yeah, that's the one that has like the robot arms where he's poop, poop, poop. Yeah, yeah. I know who Jack is in Tekken. Paul, yes, Paul was that dude too. Yeah, I got good at Paul for a while too. Big A says NVIDIA fell because of economic slowdown in China and sell weakness in the chip sector. Lots of companies got hit today. Ooh, it's rough out there.
China.
Dr. Strange says New Jack passed. I thought he passed away. I wasn't 100% sure though. Okay, I wasn't sure. So there you go. I don't feel bad for him. Mass transit incident. Diddy knows what I'm talking about. We got some wrestling fans. When are they going to drop? See, there's another IP or another vertical that VeVe could bring in. Some WWE wrestlers. First appearance of Hulk Hogan. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, and then you can make some sort of like, even if it's such a simple like rock'em sock'em robot type wrestling game, where you just take your NFT wrestler on VeVe and put him in a little ring, and maybe you script it ahead of time, like I want to try to do this move, and then you do this move, and it's like a chess match and it just goes off at the same time. And it doesn't have to be like a real-time video game where you're fighting, grappling it out. They could do something a little different, but
yeah, just make them interactive and you can set up your own scene.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm tired of I love the Vaultaholics and all them people, but like it's been fucking years of just seeing like these damn videos, bro. Like give me a game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Same with Cryptoids, bro. Like where the fuck is the gamification? I was on panels with them like a year ago when they were telling me that shit's coming next week. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on anymore in this world. I just can't believe anybody.
Yeah, everybody just kind of put a pause on what they're doing, waiting for the bull run to kick back in. But, I mean, you got to give us something for us to stick around. That's why all the VeVe people left. Ronnie Lido says, now it's all about making a game that people will pay $60 for and then buy the next $60 game a month later. Well, I mean, I feel...
The real hook is the free-to-play. Like, that's what most people are spending the most money on, and the data's out there. Because again, free to play, it's just like giving someone a bag of weed for free. You know what I mean? They got to keep coming back. But yeah, you give them a free to play game, especially a decent one, and they'll just start dropping battle passes and cosmetics and all. And these aren't even NFTs. They just dump that money, And listen, I do it too. I put a cost value on every game that I play, and for me, it's like $2. If I can get $2 an hour at a gaming value, it's cool by me.
Yeah, it's almost like free money. You're playing a game, having fun, and making money at the same time. But yeah, Fortnite was the one that proved that the free game can end up making you millions of dollars if you make a good enough game. Brown Wolverine just went up
every
again.
game's free to play.
So what Brown Wolverine is this, Kryptoni? Is it like a secret rare with low edition size? I think I was streaming that drop. I think it was on a weekend, but I don't remember. I mean, I remember what it looks like. I don't remember the rarities, though. I'm surprised that it's at 700, though. I'm shocked, actually.
That's probably the one that I'm thinking about with the mint size.
Probably must have been. Gamers will pay anything to play the next hyped and fad game, just like people and their pets. When GTA 6 comes out, that's all everybody's going to be playing. I almost want to start my own GTA 6 channel, try to get early access or get it, the day it comes out. You could probably make a lot of money just streaming that.
Well, actually, that's probably the hardest thing to do. I mean, maybe for someone like you, because you already have an audience, but if anyone that streams just like to single-digit, viewers, playing a game as hyped as GTA 6 is like career suicide on streaming. Like, you would probably want to go play the complete opposite and try to get viewers when everybody else leaves. Yeah,
because all the big streamers are playing the same game.
Exactly. And when you go to YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever, and they go to GTA 6, you're going to be at the bottom of that list. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the fact that the chance that someone scrolls down like that, slim to none. But they do have wrestling on Candy. Someone mentioned that. But they're like cards. They're like cards and like belts and shit like that.
Whereas you could have the actual characters themselves. That would be pretty cool. I think people would like that. Then you could, of course, release a ring, like a wrestling ring, to put into your vault to put the wrestlers in. And it's got to be an IP that's not too hard to get. WWE gives their IP, their licensing to everybody. Kryptoni says it would be dope on Candy. Abdullah says Hulk Hogan meme coin lasted 2 hours rugged. Yeah, but he got hacked. I'm pretty sure Hogan's Twitter account got hacked. That was during all the I don't even remember what it's called anymore. Pump.fun. Everybody was doing Pump.fun coins. They probably still are, but It's over with now. They got too many groups set up, manipulating those prices. I can't even play the game anymore. Denny OC says new Vinnie Mac doc coming out on Netflix, stirring up some real. Yeah, the whole Vinnie Mac stuff is pretty crazy. I knew he was doing some crazy stuff though. He seems like the type. Somebody
Vince McMahon?
Yeah, Vince McMahon. You heard about all the stuff he's into
Oh,
now.
bro, that guy, yo, I can't wait to see that doc, bro. Yo, that guy, man, he's probably like one of the shadiest fucking people on the planet. I think he's brilliant, but I think to do what he had to do to put the wrestling on the map back in the day, he had to do some crazy shady shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he definitely did. He put everybody else out of business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the same way he used to like, slip the record, not the record, the radio station some money to play yours and not play other people's, records, whatever.
Yep. Payola.
Like, that shit was happening, dude.
Oh, guarantee it. Yeah, I think it's already been proven. Like when it comes to some of those local television stations, where Vince McMahon would grease up somebody's palms and get his product put on the air instead of the local product, which would make some people mad, but then would turn other people on to the national project and made WWF look a lot bigger. Free to play, then add-ons and add-ons, yes. And I think they have some 2D like sticker type. 3D cars would be fire. 3D cars, we got 3D cars. We got Lambos. Big A says NFT market in general seems to have bottomed last month. A lot of my NFTs are up. For example, a kid called Beast floor doubled in the past 30 days. And I heard people saying that I think it was either Bored Apes or CryptoPunks. One of those was up a lot. But what's the catalyst? Like, why? I mean, I feel
because we couldn't go any lower. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I mean, that's what people are saying. That's what informant said about the market, the VeVe market, that it's at the bottom. It can't go any lower. That's what people said.
VeVe, but the VeVe's a little bit different of a beast because they're just inept from the top down, right? It's hard to put trust in anything over there. I'm just saying, like, the overall, sediment around crypto and NFTs, I mean, I see it in my wallets. I mean, a lot, especially my meme coins. I'm like, damn, they were down that much. But then I looked the next day, a couple days ago. I'm like, okay, it's back in the green today. Like again, because I don't think that stuff could really just go any lower. But VeVe, I don't really put VeVe in the same boat there because they're
I think
just
the VeVe
screwed.
stuff can definitely go lower because a lot of the stuff that is worth a lot has high edition sizes, and those are the ones most likely to go down. I mean, some of the newer stuff where it's a really low edition size is less likely to go down over the next 6 months or year, whereas the big stuff like the partner statue and the Todd McFarlane Batman have so many editions that it makes sense that it would keep going down from here.
Yep, and I'll get a golden moment vault one of these days. That's going to be on my bucket list,
I get a partner statue when the floor is 200.
Yeah, same.
How about that? Big A says it's doubled, but it's still
that?
pretty low at 0.17 ETH. They got to over 3 ETH. Wow, they got it over 3 ETH, and now they're at 0.17, and that's after it doubled in price. I like the Kid Called Beast ones. I like the stuff that they've done. They've integrated into other platforms, and they look pretty cool. But, I mean, I feel like licensed IP should be doing better than a Kid Called Beast because it has so much history behind it. It just has a bad team behind it. Too much pay-per-view now, PvP. Maybe not pay-per-view, sorry. Person versus person.
Yeah, PvP.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays it's shifting towards a PvP/PvE meta, which is like kind of how like that off the grid game is, where it's like you drop in, you'll have like AI enemies, and Division was like that too. You would go in and fight like AI bosses, you know what I mean, while trying to sneak out and avoid players at the same time. That's like the new shift in the meta. But yeah, a lot of PvP games still coming out. People like to talk shit, you know what I mean, like the competitive nature.
Yeah, and some of those online, those Xbox lobbies, Call of Duty, Fortnite, man, they're pretty freaking toxic. Maybe they need to start having some kind of moderators or something.
Well, it's coming, especially if Kamala wins. But actually, if you remember a game called SOCOM, SOCOM was way more toxic than any other game. It's actually why SOCOM has come out when Sony does a poll like once a year. What game do you want brought back? SOCOM, and specifically SOCOM 2, wins the poll every single time. And Seth Luisi, the fact I know this guy by fucking name, tells you something. This guy would always come out and say, you guys will never, ever get you a remake because we are the most toxic community on the planet. It puts Call of Duty to shame. It puts all this shit to shame, bro. All the Fortnite kids, all the Call of Duty. What was another toxic community? Halo. They were toxic as hell. But here's the thing about SOCOM, and you talked about esports gaming early on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't know this. the game battles, which was the first MLG like esports thing, was game battles. Started day one as SOCOM battles. So if
Oh,
you
really?
really want to think about it and tie it all together, SOCOM actually started esport gaming. And if you release SOCOM in 2024, it would never make it because it's third person. And any streamer, because any game that's popular nowadays has a big streaming community behind it. It's people that tell me that doesn't exist or crazy. The streamers would look at third person and be like, "Oh, that's not realistic," and they would never play it. So a game like SOCOM would actually fail miserably today in the streaming world.
Well, they could make it first person. They could switch it up.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be SOCOM. Like the whole point of SOCOM was tactical third person. Like
I see.
original, it was kind of like the argument with PUBG early on. When
Right.
PUBG only had third person, they didn't have first person in the beginning because like the camera wasn't lining up correctly with the bullets or whatever, so they couldn't do it. But third person, like people were like, "Oh, this is great," but as soon as first person came out, they're like, "Third person's for scrubs that don't want to peek the corner." They're not wrong, but it creates a whole different type of gaming experience. Third person to first person. So.
Right, yeah. Kryptoni says that $700 brown suit Wolverine is about to go to $950. It's one sell away from $950. Still holding my full gold Happy Meal Disney set. What is Happy Meal Disney set? Oh, I guess that's what you're calling the golden moments. So you got all the golden moments?
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, those have been dropping. There's always been too many editions, although I'm big on the Homer and the Bart, and I'm big on the Elsa, and even the Star Wars stuff. But the prices are too high. They keep going down. Too many editions. Abdullah says, Mo, are you into ton and tap to earn games? I'm not sure what that is. Do you know?
I don't know what ton is.
Maybe it's a typo.
So I like the move to earn stuff, where it's like they'll incentivize you. Like I have one with it's like tied. I have like a couple car NFTs, and it's based on like I used it a lot when I was doing Uber Eats. The more I drove, I was like earning pickups in the game. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool. There's another one that like pays you for walking and exercising, stuff like that. I don't really play many mobile games, honestly. It's just I sit at my computer with two 32-inch widescreens, another TV behind me as a monitor, two more to my left. Like I don't really ever need to touch my phone for gaming. So, Telegram coin? No.
Telegram
That's like
coin,
the
Telegram,
hamster. I
oh.
think it's like the hamster. I think the hamster combat was like a Telegram game or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Yeah, the only mobile games I really got into was Pokemon Go. Got big into Pokemon Go, and now they got a new game, Disney something. It's a Disney Pokemon Go type game. Disney Move or Disney Go, Disney Walk.
Really?
Yeah, so that one's pretty interesting. That one could be big if you get into it early. But I got into the last Disney thing early. It was AR enabled.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Do they have an AR Harry Potter? I know there's a Monopoly
They did.
Go. Yeah. And
Yo,
then-
Monopoly Go is an AR Monopoly.
I don't know what it is. I know my friends or my kids' friend's mom is like huge into it, and I just started to see some advertisement pop up about it. It looks like
I
Pokemon
see
Go.
ads all the time. Oh my god, I'm about to check it out.
Yeah, Monopoly Go sounds good. VeVe Fan says Disney Pinnacle Pins trading event. I turned down a 1K, a 1.6K, and a $900 OTC deal on 3 different pins. Pinnacle is pumping. Of course, the one that I don't get into is the one that's pumping.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told this to you, but I told this to my girl because she's a big Disney freak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mean like she likes to give head on the roller coaster or anything. Like she loves Disney. Like, dude, and when I told her about the pins, she started telling me about like all the pin collectors and how they're crazy hardcore with the pin collecting on Disney, man. But that actually doesn't surprise me. I joined all the early beta. They send me crap all the time. I just don't care. I wish I did, but yeah, I'm like you. I'm like, shit, the one I don't jump into.
Yeah.
But man, my girl said the same thing. Like that would be the moneymaker.
I mean, it made sense to me because I know about the Disney pin collectors as well. The only thing that I didn't love about it was that it was Dapper Labs, and looking at all their other platforms, they haven't really done anything. However, I mean, the Pinnacle pins, it makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Does make sense.
I'm surprised that the prices are so high right now. Maybe because it's still kind of young, but I feel like all the drops are like $50 each. And like you, Mo, they send me emails all the time about stuff that's dropping, and I don't know which ones are the good ones or which ones are the bad ones. At least with VeVe, I can differentiate them by the IPs or by the edition sizes, but I don't know enough about Disney Pinnacle to get into it. Maybe I still can. It's still early. I'm assuming that at some point, all these NFTs are going to be worth money, and maybe if Disney implements something to where you can like trade them or get special pins at the park, then more and more people learn about it that are already pin collectors. It could blow up. I mean, that one has a lot of potential. I just don't love that it's on the Flow blockchain and that it's associated with Dapper Labs. However, I'm still interested. I might get into it. Who knows?
Yeah, I adopted a new saying for PFL.
All right, what is
We
it?
talked about making sense, making dollars, whatever. So my new thing is PFL to me is the only platform that makes dollars and cents. And I don't mean cents as in pennies. I mean cents as like everything. When I look at racing and I look at like the ecosystem, I'm out there putting my horses in, like I talked to you about, like trying to learn to race and stuff.
Yeah.
It just makes sense to me, man. Like I look at every other platform, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And again, with Pinnacle too, I guess you could put it there. Like nothing else Dapper Labs has done has really made sense to me. And I'm like, why would I jump on Pinnacle? You know?
Right.
But so I stick with PFL, man.
I mean,
You know?
NBA Top Shot made sense to me. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of putting your moments into the infinity frames and putting them up on your wall or on your desk.
Well, that I love. We
and-
need to see that. We
Yeah.
need to see that more in common practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think they're like super expensive to get those infinity frames. They're even advertising their NFTs on the actual video game, like on 2K. If you're playing 2K in the middle of the game, like during a timeout, they'll start talking about it. They'll be like, "Oh, now that people are collecting these moments as I don't think they use the word NFTs.
I'd probably say collectible.
They were definitely talking about it though, which I thought was pretty wild.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. My boy plays NBA 2K a lot. Actually, the new one just came out today, I think.
Did it come
I'll
out
have to
today?
see if, I'll have to see if I've listened to some commentary, see what the hell they talk about. That's crazy though.
Yeah, every time it pops up during my game, I always like, I wish I was recording it right now. I bet I could find that clip somewhere, though. I bet somebody has recorded it at some point. Woody says we just technology to catch up with Web3. Yeah, we just need technology to catch up with Web3 platforms. Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time, but it's taken a lot longer than I expected. Like, where's the metaverse? When are we going to get the metaverse? Mo, what's your ETA on metaverse? When metaverse?
The metaverse is a scam because the metaverse is nothing more than like a launch pad meeting ground. You know what I'm saying? Like Fortnite already had that shit in Fortnite Creative. You would go on and you run around the server with a bunch of your friends. That's a metaverse. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't know what definition we're really trying to tie into this crap, but maybe the whole Facebook, Zuckerberg thing early on kind of killed it. But I don't know, man, this whole metaverse thing of like the push, the need to find like this world where it's like 1,000 people standing there next to each other doing absolutely nothing. I don't know. But I think the metaverse is already here. I just think it just shows its face in different ways,
Yeah, have you ever played VR chat on Oculus Quest?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's kind of what I think of when I think of a metaverse. You'd be in this
Yep.
VR chat area and you got portals to all these other games that aren't, necessarily connected, but you can get to them, and then maybe, it'd be bigger than the VR chat lobby, big enough to where you have streets in your own home, and then you have your own like house that you can decorate with other NFTs or whatever. But then from that metaverse, that like home space, you can branch off into other games. So that's what I think of when I think of the metaverse.
No, the same here. But the thing is, man, like, I also wonder, and I don't really want to derail this too much, who actually cares? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who actually cares? Like,
Nobody.
you see, I know, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, I'll just go play some free-to-play game, and I'll just buy a battle pass, and I'll give them $500, and I'll do it again next year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, and I'm learning this the more I play these Web3 games, and I collect these cosmetics, or the cosmetics, I guess, make sense to me. I think we talked about this, right? Like Fortnite turning skins into NFTs would make sense.
Right.
But like dropping items in a game, I don't know how you ever balance that ecosystem where you make them valuable, you know what I'm saying? But also make it so that a player can coming in doesn't have to spend a lot of money to get the NFT, and then people actually want to play it for the NFT. But then how do you not devalue it at the same time? Like, I don't know, man. The more I play this shit, it's just I walk away and I go, I hope that makes it. Because I don't understand how they're gonna tie it in and make it worthwhile long term. I really don't.
Yeah, you got to give people an incentive to be in the metaverse. I don't know what that incentive is.
To me, like I said, I think it's cosmetic, because cosmetics, people like to show off, right? Like, I'll give you a quick example. One of the streaming groups I watch is OTK, and they like to do this IRL shit, and they're in Texas. So the other day, because they've been playing basketball together, they challenged a middle school team and a high school team, and they went to the gym and they all met up and they played against the middle school team. They got smoked. And what they were talking about with these kids is that like, so what do you do? Blah blah blah. And they were like, oh, we don't really do anything. We just game. And then they were just talking about their shoes and like they actually started talking a little bit about just like digital collectibles, not really NFTs. You know what I'm saying? Right. They were just like, oh, what if you could buy this like in your favorite game? Whatever. Like, hey, I do that. Like, nah, I don't do this. I just buy skins on Fortnite. They're talking about like digital collectibles and stuff, but then they start talking about their shoes and how much they're worth and how much they're gonna flip them for on the market. So these kids are primed to buy the cosmetic NFTs that I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like a desk or a fucking NFT chair that you pick up in the world and it maybe glows a certain color, does anybody really give a shit? Like, do you want to come to my house and do you care like that I have an NFT couch in my living room? I don't know if anybody's ever going to care about this stuff. That's kind of like my whole take on it these days.
Well, unless they're like designer stuff. I mean, my kid, surprisingly, I guess collecting is natural or something because my kid collects stuff. And what he collects is weird to me, something I would never collect. He collects cologne. Him and his friends all collect cologne. Like the other day, we went shopping, and the one thing he wanted was cologne, and it ended up being cologne that cost $150 a bottle. And
Jesus.
For some reason, I bought it for him because I'm a sucker. But he has like a whole collection of cologne, and all his friends have whole collections of cologne. So kids are still collecting; they just collect differently. And in the future,
they're not huffing it, right? They're not like
no,
like
they
the old
just
Glade
want
where
to
you
smell
would like
good.
huff it and get high.
They wear too much of it. They pour it on.
We used to do that too if I didn't shower for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Just throw that cologne on.
Had the smell. If I smoke in the morning, I might throw on some cologne so nobody knows. Big A says, Mo already roasted me for recommending Hamster Combat. Abdullah, apparently the cost of free is too risky. It's free too?
That's bullshit. No, fuck you, Big A. He says free. He says free, and I go to log in and do some free shit, quote unquote, and it takes me like a fucking hour to get set up, and I gotta fucking do this and link that and do this. Fuck that, it ain't free. At the cost of all my time, I'll just wait for the token to come out. If it does anything, I'll buy the fucking token.
There you go. Time has value for sure. Dr. Strange says, shout out to Psycho Sid. Yeah, I heard Psycho Sid just passed away recently. Oof, I like Psycho Sid a lot too. Also known as Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. And his son was on Big Brother one year. I think it was, Big Brother that I watched. Maybe it was Survivor, but it was on one of those reality shows. His son was on it, and I thought that was crazy.
I think it was Survivor, actually. I think you're right. I think it might have been Survivor. I think of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I saw him on Big Brother. Yeah, I remember that. He was on a reality show, yeah.
What he says, but if VR is tied into social, tied into events, it could incentivize people. I feel like Pokemon Go was like that stepping stone. So if you have like a Pokemon Go type game on VR, when everybody has these headsets and hopefully, they're not big, bulky like the Apple Vision Pro and the Oculus right now, but they're just some type of glasses that you can turn on and off, then maybe you can go to these places and collect assets that you can put in your home in the metaverse. I mean, the technology definitely has to catch up, but I think the idea that Pokemon Go introduced to the world, and you saw how popular it was, of actually going places and interacting with people, not in person, not just in the metaverse, is a good stepping stone to creating Web3 style games and Web3 like events or experiences. I think it all ties together eventually.
I think so too. I definitely feel like that's the way the world's going. But like I said to you before the show, and I've said it many times, are we going to be the ones that benefit it, or is it going to be our great grandchildren?
I'm thinking our grandchildren.
Like, I just don't know how much time I have left in my life to sit around and wait for broken-ass promises from all these fucking platforms. You know what I mean? Which is why, again, I love Ian and PFL and everything they've done for me, my family, my friends, and, I can't.
But we have AI now, and hopefully AI is going to help technology progress faster. I was thinking this like a year or two ago, and it doesn't seem to have happened yet, but, technology progresses faster and faster each decade, we'll say, and AI should, make it exponentially. You would think that it would make progress come a little faster, but hasn't happened yet. Abdullah says a Not Coin was free tap game, but people got airdropped $300 to $700 worth of airdrops. Nothing to lose. Wow. Combat broke world record of hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube fastest, which was then broken by CR7. I don't know what CR7 is. But apparently people
because they hear about the last project and they try to replicate it. It's the same reason why Pumped Out Fun no longer does anything, because it create an algorithm, people know, spot this trend, and then make money, lose money, and then rinse and repeat. You do it until it doesn't work anymore, and then someone comes up with something new trend, and
Yeah.
you know.
Get in early and get out fast. That's how you make your money.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the more that there's proof and there's, blueprint, so to speak, on how to do this shit, the less it's gonna work.
True.
So you got to zig, everybody else is zagging.
Big A's got some alpha for me. Cologne has a shelf life and starts to degrade after 2 to 3 years. So they have companies you can buy it by the ounce. So for 150, you could have 10 to 20 different high-end colognes. Yeah, but that's not what they want. They need the bottle. They want all the packaging. They want to show their friends that they got the cool one that everybody's talking about now. I don't know if that would work if I could talk my kid into it, but if it saves me some money, I'm all about it. Please. Abdullah says, got to drive up time engagement to get decent amounts of airdrops, but the idea can for sure bring Web 2 users because it's completely free. That's the best part. Yeah, absolutely. And it involves people to create wallets to receive airdrops. Yeah, I don't know if normies are going to create wallets. What kind of wallets do they have to create? That's once you start creating a wallet and you got to write down that seed phrase, you kind of lose a lot of people. Oh, you think that scares people?
Most companies
away?
seem to be, most people seem to be doing, most companies, I didn't mean to cut you off, but is it looks like they're doing like in-house wallets, right?
Right.
So you create an account on X game or whatever, and then you make, there's like a in-house wallet, and all your earned incentive token will go there. And when you're ready and you want to take that next step, you link your MetaMask, right? And then so there is no overwhelming of people and be like, oh, well, welcome to the game. Now make your MetaMask. Now write down your seed phrase. By the way, if you lose this, you're fucked.
Right.
There's none of that right off the rip. It
Good.
gives you a chance to kind of get in, play the game, earn their token. It just kind of builds up in your account, kind of like V-Bucks, you know what I mean? Or Derby on PFL.
Or kind of like VeVe. We have wallets on VeVe, but we don't have seed phrases or anything. It's just built in.
Correct, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. So yeah, something like that, like a walled garden, wallet type of deal, centralized wallet. And then yeah, when you're ready and you're like, oh, so let me take the next step, now we link, MetaMask and we can export it for money,
I'm getting some alpha in the chat. Apparently, buying cologne is called smell maxing. Is that a real thing? Woody says cologne is the new Beanie Babies. I thought maybe it was just just this area, just one kid's dad taught him that cologne was cool to collect, so that kid told all of his friends, and it was just but no, apparently it's a whole thing. It's called smell maxing. I don't know. These kids are crazy. My kid wears t-shirts of rappers, young NBA. I don't know his name, and then he also wears t-shirts of Metallica. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand kids these days. They're into new stuff. You gotta learn as you go.
Well, Metallica's retro now, which obviously means we're old as fuck, but
I know my kid knows more Metallica songs than me. I was like, I know Enter the Sandman. He's like, yeah, I like that one, but I like this one better. I'm like, I don't know nothing.
and he's probably giving you some obscure B-side track or some shit. You know what I mean?
Really.
You got to look it up and find out what album it's on. That's cool though, man. I love to hear that.
That is kind of cool.
And your kid or any of his friends play the instruments or anything?
Instruments? Not that I know of.
No.
Nope.
I'm just curious because when people start listening to Metallica or something, somebody just wants to start playing the drums, and then someone's like, "Oh, I'll pick up a guitar," and the next thing you know,
they got a band
throwing people out of your garage and shit. You know what I mean?
I hope they do.
My dad would invite us. We had a recording studio in my house. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he recorded a lot of big professional artists growing up here on the island.
And you didn't start a band? Your dad has a recording studio, and you didn't start your own band, Mo?
I had a band. I had a band for a long time. Yeah.
Nice.
So I suffer from laziness first and foremost, but I love playing speed metal, and I just love playing rhythm guitar. I'm not really a lead player, and I can play some leads, but I just always loved to shred. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I just played speed metal at a time where speed metal wasn't really that popular. So it is what it is. If I could do it all over again, I'd probably just switch. I would do what System of a Down did. You know the story behind them?
No.
So they couldn't get signed early on because their stuff was really obscure. If you listen to a lot of later System of a Down, one song is Radio Video. It's a calypso type metal song. Really cool. But the record label was like, nah, man, we're not into this stuff. But here's what you can do. Make this album a radio-friendly album, and we'll let you do whatever you want for your other albums. And that's pretty much what they did, and that's why the album with spider webs and shit came out on it. But then Toxicity was their own album. And that actually wound up being more popular than the original album that they thought would be the mainstream album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just to kind of show you, sometimes you got to pivot Anyway, I said when I was growing up, I said if I didn't have a record deal by the time I was 25, I would just quit, pursuing music.
Nice.
And again, I recorded so many other people, and my buddy was actually signed with Bad Boy. With Puff Daddy we did comedy rap growing up, so like Puff Daddy sat around listening to fucking my comedy rap music, bro.
No way.
Said comedy
awesome.
rap would never make it. Turns out Lonely Island actually disproved that theory a little bit.
Weird Al's been around for a while.
Yeah, we didn't really do rap. He did a couple rap songs, but like we did just nothing but like West Coast beats, because I did a lot of beats for some rappers too. But I did West Coast beats, and we just rapped idiotic shit over it, bro. Stuff that I'm actually, I don't even know if probably 1-2 songs I'd play on the internet. The rest of them, my friends probably would not even be okay with me playing it. So let's just leave it at that. But we rapped about some crazy shit back then. Yeah, like I said, yeah, we, worked in a studio. We had a studio at my house too, so it just never really had to go out and pursue the musical dream. My dad did, though.
Nice. Ronnie Lido says there's a person named Jayton Aurora, seems to be the biggest influencer around collecting cologne for young boys. I've never seen him watching a cologne influencer, but he does all his stuff in his room now that I got him his own computer, so I don't know exactly what he's watching. I need to go in there and check every once in a while, but he's got a password on his computer, and if I ask him for the password, he's probably going to delete all the stuff I want to check. But I was in there working on it because he had a problem with his monitor the other day, and then he walked out of the room, so I kind of went into the history. Hopefully he's not listening. And I didn't see anything
Clip it
bad.
and ship it, chat.
Everything looked
Let him know.
Everything looked normal. I didn't see anything bad. Maybe he has the bad stuff. Big A says get some Creed Aventus Tom Ford Noir and Dior Sauvage. You get every situation covered. I got random compliments on those all the time. Oh, Big A is a smellaholic as well. He's a smell maxer, apparently.
I can't believe. I don't know how we went from all the different topics. Now we're talking about cologne influencers.
Yes, cologne influencers.
I have to know if this is a thing. Hold on. I have to know. We have to do this live.
I mean,
know you're gonna wrap it up, but
everything has an influencer at this point, so I believe it 100%.
This is crazy. A cologne influencer. I mean,
Big A, the one my kid bought was Jean de Luc something. Do you know what that is? If you say the name, I'll probably remember it. It was expensive as hell, though. Danny LC says, I think Stranger Things brought older music to the younger generations. Yeah, well, I think actually what got him into Metallica was Metallica had a thing with Fortnite.
Concert. Yep, I was about to say, that would do it.
That's
smart.
It, 100%.
And that concert, I actually watched the making of with that concert. I think it's like an interactive event too, apparently.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
It actually looked pretty dope, man. That's what I'm saying, like create stuff like that. And dude, apparently as of 3 years ago, there was YouTube videos of how to be a fragrance influencer with Danny Gonzalez. This other guy, Mr. Smelly.
Mr. Smelly, now that's a good influencer name right there for fragrances.
Fragrance
100%.
YouTubers are lying to you. Oh my God, we might have to. We should actually have like a flashback segment sometimes where we uncover like weird ass things like this.
Yes.
And then maybe we just kind of like do some homework on it and maybe just touch on it for a minute, or maybe like 5 minutes or something on another show. But oh man, this is crazy. Another crazy rabbit hole I went down this week, and I can't believe I went down it. I was watching a podcast and they were doing gay animal facts. I don't know why, but they were saying, can an elephant, no, not an elephant, a giraffe, if a giraffe can groom itself to climax. Now, it turned out to be false. However, it actually turned out to be the funniest horse name I ever came up with. I now have an S filly named Groom to Climax, and I cannot wait.
That's a great name. I love it.
I had to go down that rabbit hole and find out if...
I'm surprised they can't, though. They got those long necks. You would think they could reach.
Yeah, I was just like, Groom to Climax. If you ever thought that you would hear those words come out of somebody's mouth, I was like, what the fuck?
Ronnie Lytle says, Surge's recent podcast interview with Rainn. Who's Surge? I like Rainn Wilson. All the stories from Rick Rubin about creating and producing a System of a Down. Oh, okay. I guess he's the guy from System of a Down. We got Jay Bro in the chat. Everybody likes to show up at the very end. As always, literally every time I have a question and I can't think of the answer, the biggest bro always has the answer. That's exactly what it is. I don't know how to say it, but that's the one that my kid wanted. You need to set up a remote desktop backdoor for your son's computer. Ooh, how you do that? I do need to figure that out. Yeah, we're going down the rabbit holes. That's what we do here. It tells the crypto. No topic is off topic, and we go down.
Oh, I love
rabbit
this show,
holes.
dude.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
quick off topic. I mean, obviously I've always enjoyed hanging out with you, but man, I always felt like with some of these shows, I'm like, I'm just not going to enjoy talking about a lot of this shit. But I don't know, man. We do this show, and I'm like, fuck, it's already 2 hours. Like, I don't even feel like it's been 2 hours. We just shoot the shit, go back and forth. I love this shit, man. I'm glad chat shows up and, comes hangs out on
100%.
Tuesdays, bro.
Appreciate you guys being here, chat, and for helping us along with these topics, because we're always just, going off of what you guys are talking about for sure. Shout out to Pixel Pudding, just joined the chat. We're about to end the stream. We've been live for a couple hours, but we do this live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you guys check us out next week. I don't know what we'll be talking about next week. I know Dr. Strange sent me over an interesting topic about some caves that have been found in the northeast of America. So that might be something we're getting into. Did you see the gay penguins in a zoo? They gave them an egg to hatch and raise. I think I saw something about that. Yeah, 100%. All right, everybody, about time to end the live stream. Shout out to Mo for co-hosting as always. Appreciate you, Mo.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Listen, Chad, I don't know if you realize, but kind of hard to sit there and rip for hours on end about just random ass topics and not get yourself in hot water. I mean, Vault, you do a great job of it, man. I appreciate the good conversation as always. I know we didn't really go red versus blue this week, which, was kind of a nice break. I'm sure we'll have some fun as the election gets closer. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for doing the show, man, and I enjoy it. So thank you, and thank you to chat.
Thanks, Mo. Thanks, everybody in chat. We're going to leave you with the outro this time. It's just the outro for my stream. I'm still working on a new outro and intro for this weekly show, but make sure you guys check us out. Like Denny OC says, best show on Tuesdays. We'll be live next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Same bat channel, same bat time, however that goes. Later, everybody. Exactly is the debate. The debate is about, are the new comics causing the Grail comics to drop in price? And I think that's obvious. I'm on the side of yes, it is.
You're still here.
No, there's still out before we do the live
It's
before
over.
we do the Twitter space.
Go
It's coming
home.
down a little bit. We're under 100 now.
Oh, you must expect VeVe drop. Well, we don't have that.
Might not grab anything. So if I-
Circle.
to